which was covered on his Reddit page. I watched Steph's video about coming clean on everything that he posted a few days ago. It's hard to tell if it's genuine or not, since he's been shitposting in this subreddit for a while, as well as shitposting weird obtuse videos on his main YouTube channel for a while now. But I do think he wants to do better. I think Uber was a good step for him. Dennis needs a real job to humble him, and particularly something that takes him offline. These constant apology videos and reflection videos where he overshares just become exhausting when the guy needs to stop feeling entitled to a YouTube audience. The posts from Dennis that were referenced were the ones that came after he realized the true damage he had done to his career. I'm a manipulative, attention-seeking Should I quit and get a real job? Should I just end it all? What job should I get? I am broke and can't afford therapy. What should I do? Should I go to rehab? I want to give up. How can I make things right with everyone I've wronged? I am so depressed. Dennis's need to feed his ego had cost him everything, and it was only when things were at their worst that he truly understood that.
I give up. I really do. I give up. It's over. It just really fucked it all up. I was really embarrassed and ashamed to admit it, but I did it. It's all my fault. And I've put myself here. And I've just come to terms with the fact that there's no way out.
Although those that didn't believe Dennis was genuine about his declining emotional state, the fact that he had to cancel 2 of his shows at the comedy club due to an emergency raised some concerns. Thankfully, Keemstar later confirmed that Dennis was still alive. Checked in with Dev Noodles, he is alive. All can say for now for those that are concerned. Dennis's obsession with being seen as a funny comedian was what truly led to his downfall. This obsession pushed him to create a comedic persona that poorly reported the news, and eventually started the roast battle that destroyed his reputation as well as his finances. To make matters even worse, Dennis didn't have the mental stability to endure the criticism that comes with being a creator, which became the root cause of many controversies. All these factors slowly eroded the trust and respect Dennis had with his fan base, as many of them decided to leave rather than watch his self-destructive antics. As of May 2024, Dennis has wiped all of his social media platforms of prior posts, and it's unlikely he'll ever be ready to return. However, we can only hope that he sees the error of his ways and takes necessary steps to put his life back together. At the end of the day, he doesn't deserve to have his life ruined over being unfunny and not being able to take criticism.
So at this point, I think we can all agree that out of the many prominent figures who went all in on Trump, the one who debased himself the most was former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. The man was always a bit of a freak, but since taking on his role as Trump's legal counsel and hype man, he has seen his life, his public image, and his personal finances turn to absolute shit before our very eyes. At 80 years old, the man formerly known as America's mayor is bankrupt and owes money to dozens of people who successfully sued him. He's facing civil and criminal charges in multiple cases related to the 2020 election. And he's been caught on camera looking like an absolute schmuck, whether it's holding a press conference at a landscaping company because he got it mixed up with the Four Seasons Hotel, leaking black goo out of his skull, or appearing to try and have sex with Borat's daughter. Any one of these incidents would be so mortifying to the average person that they would crawl into a hole to live out the rest of their days, but not Rudy.
No, he embraces it. He uses it as energy fuel. As we've discussed this week, one of Rudy's latest achievements in embarrassment came when, after weeks of successfully avoiding getting served with yet another indictment and publicly gloating about it, he was successfully served by the Arizona Attorney General's office at his own 80th birthday. Reportedly right after everyone sang happy birthday to him.
Make a wish.
They waited, they're like, all right, this is too pathetic. We have to wait until at least the song's over.
I'm gonna wait till he makes a wish because he's probably gonna wish that he never gets served. And then I'm gonna serve him and it's gonna be so cool. And me and all the other process servers are gonna have a real hoot about it at the process servers bar that we all go to.
Yeah. So it was once again the kind of thing that most people would consider to be the most deeply embarrassing moment of their lives. But for Rudy, it was just a Friday. And by Tuesday, he was back at it again, adding further disgrace to his legacy. Many of Rudy's most embarrassing moments have felt like something straight out of a movie, and in the case of Borat 2, it literally was. But this next debacle is specifically straight out of the movie The Naked Gun. So at one point, the character Frank Drebin is in court and is mic'd up so he can give testimony. Then he goes to take a piss with the microphone still on for the whole courtroom to hear.
It's one of the best bits in the movie.
On Tuesday, Rudy Giuliani appeared remotely via Zoom to his arraignment in Arizona court. And, well, just here you go.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, you're welcome. I'm sorry that that wasn't clear. If you need
No problem. Appreciate it.
on today's calendar. 66 is CR 2024.
Is that me?
Yes, it's you, Mr. Giuliani. I'm just calling the case CR 2024 006.
Okay, yeah, that sure sounds like piss. And very specifically, old man piss.
Dribbling.
It's a weak stream, possibly due to an enlarged prostate.
Could be.
This, of course, seems almost too good to be true. And it seems like something that could have very easily been edited into the video. But here's the Daily Beast. For those inside the courtroom, the question of whether Giuliani was pulling a Frank Drebin left many of them holding back the urge to laugh. We were all trying to hold our composure in the courtroom while trying to figure out what it was. Reporter Cameron Arkand noted. Now, that tweet from that reporter appears to have been deleted. So, who knows? Maybe it was out of respect. Maybe it was out of fear. Maybe he was correcting a mistake.
I would have thought that Rudy would have done this on purpose to keep up the, really drive home that he is just a doddering old fool. He can't even appear at his arraignment correctly.
The Uncle Junior defense?
Yeah, like I'm literally too old and stupid to have committed any crime knowingly.
That would make sense if it was at all consistent, because he is still out there pretending to have his shit together.
Yeah, well...
so, yeah, I mean, it's not like this would be especially unbelievable, though. I mean, Vivek Ramaswamy accidentally pissed with his mic on during a Twitter Spaces talk, like, 3 months ago. And Rudy previously let out a loud fart during a hearing where he disputed the 2020 election results.
The answer.
Point of order.
The answer that I gave you is they didn't bother to interview a single witness, just like you.
And that's 100% real. You see the woman next to him go like,
Damn, Rudy.
damn.
Yeah, well, like, when you get that old, they just kind of fall out.
Yeah.
The farts slip out, the pee's a little harder.
Yeah, the pee comes out a lot slower, and the gas comes out a lot faster.
Yeah, no one's going to question whether or not he was frying chicken off screen. It was not that.
No.
So we choose to believe that Rudy Giuliani did, in fact, take a piss on mic during a court appearance, because it is absolutely in line with every other thing that we know about him. And at this rate, since his gaffes appear to be accelerating with age, we look forward to Rudy's next gaffe, which is due any moment now.
Yeah, possibly while we're filming, he does another one.
Yeah, if this one didn't stick, he's like, oh, everyone thought I was goofing.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do something even more senile.
He's going to have to shit his pants.
Yeah, well, he might have actually done that when he let the other one loose.
That's true.
Yeah, we don't know. But speaking of people who have hitched their wagon to the Trump train and will now forever be associated with it, Kid Rock has seemingly benefited from his Trump connection much more than Rudy Giuliani has, earning himself a fan base that at this point probably cares a lot less about his actual music than the fact that he's one of the few famous musicians that has gone full-on MAGA. And this week, Rolling Stone published a long interview between writer David Peisner and Kid Rock, real name Bob Ritchie, and it is a lot.
It's long. It's a lot in that sense, but it's also a lot just in terms of the portrait you get of this man.
Yes.
The intimate look at his life, where it's in the category of stories we've all seen many times, where it's like, wow, he's really got it all. And then you take a closer look and you're like, wow, actually this person seems fucking miserable.
Seems very depressed when you peel back just a couple layers.
In a prison of their own design in a lot of ways.
Yeah, so the whole thing is worth a read, and links are always down below in the description. But let's just go over some excerpts, because they're going to give you a great idea of the real Kid Rock.
Yeah, some real just insight. So first, here's a description of just Kid Rock's house, which I guess is just in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Modeled to look like the White House, the extravagant, airy mansion is decorated with taxidermied hunting trophies and neon beer signs. The bathroom hand towels are monogrammed with an R, and a mirror near the sink has a naked woman in a Liberty headband painted on it in pink. Images of Kid Rock's platinum records adorn the garage doors. Ritchie's entire sprawling 214-acre compound, which includes a saloon, a studio, and a cavernous hangar with a pickleball court, a basketball hoop, and the original General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard in it, feels like what a 13-year-old boy might sketch if you asked him to design his dream home.
I gotta say, at least he lives up to the persona that he's built for himself.
Yeah, this is...
Because he wasn't white trash. He was born to a very
They go over that a lot in this article. His dad literally owned a dealership.
Yeah,
He's the original, my dad owns a dealership. He was from I mean, and we know people like from Detroit, and it's like the city of Detroit and the suburbs of Detroit.
Very different.
Very different scenes.
Yes, it's just funny that he built this persona as like a Southern rock god, despite being somewhat wealthy from Michigan, and has decided, even in his private life, to fully live it. So, I mean,
yeah,
you know.
At one point in the interview, he puts on a Bud Light hat.
Yep.
And the interviewer is just like, what's that about? And he's like, oh, fuck. Don't tell anyone.
I feel
did
like
this on accident.
Because he's come out so in support of Budweiser in recent months. Since I pretty much, it was like New Year's or something like that. He was on something where he's like, everyone stand down.
Yeah.
We've done enough. And now he's wearing the hat.
Ceasefire now.
And this isn't like the first. There's been little hints that maybe he's like digging a little deeper. Like there has to be either he got like a phone call from someone at Anheuser-Busch, or like a surreptitious endorsement deal or something.
I think he's the real deal. So he actually does care that much. You know, he's not going to let one little misunderstanding get in the way of a lifelong love affair with Anheuser-Busch and its delicious products.
The funniest part of this would be like if he really gave it the college try to get into like Coors Light or Miller and was just like, I can't do it. I don't care who endorses it.
I mean, I think he did because in this house he's serving Miller Lights.
Oh. Uh-oh. Well, so the bulk of the article is a profile of Kid Rock's origins in the suburbs of Detroit, his political shift over the years, and commentary from various people who have known him throughout his career. But it really goes off the rails towards the end. By this time, I've long since quit drinking, but Richie has exchanged his white wine for Jim Beam and Diet Coke. He proceeds to drain at least 3 or 4 of them in pretty quick succession. He's sitting in a dark leather chair, shouting at me about something or other, when he reaches behind the seat, pulls out a black handgun, and waves it around to make some sort of point. And I got a fucking goddamn gun right here if I need it, he shouts. I got them everywhere. Something you definitely want to see and hear from an individual who's not only been just drinking throughout the night, but then is pounding fucking Jim Beam.
Yeah. It continues. This was the tenor of the next hour or so. We start talking about American history, and he rightfully brings up slavery and the genocide of Native Americans as stains on that history. I ask him if he worries that in the modern day, he might be on the wrong side of history. No, it was the Republicans that freed the fucking slaves. Yes, but the Republicans were the progressive party back then. I know where you're going with this, and I'll tell you why I don't, Richie says, because Trick, the hardest hitting N-word in Detroit, was like, dog, you had that shit right. We need Trump. I'll call him right fucking now. He dials his phone, but Christian Mathis, the pioneering underground Detroit rapper who goes by Trick, doesn't pick up. Richie turns back to me. I'm telling you, these dogs are calling me like, yo, N-word, you had that one right. And that's what the hard R.
Yeah, and that is, you know.
I can say it.
He gave me the pass. So yikes. And yeah, it reads as though he said that with a hard R. Not that the alternative would be much better, but there you go.
All right.
At this point, it does seem like in the interview, Kid Rock is pretty wasted. At one point in the evening, the MAGA veil falls for a moment, and he seems to lament becoming such a reviled figure among so many music fans. No one's ever going to say, fuck Prince, he tells me. As soon as he goes, and here Richie breaks into song, I never meant to cause you any sorrow. You're like, ah. Yeah, but Prince wasn't out talking shit about everyone spouting political opinions. I don't care. Purple Rain is probably the greatest Prince song ever written. Prince is known for Purple Rain. I'm known for shooting up Bud Light cans. But do you want that? You don't want that to be on your epitaph. I don't care. Yeah, but you do. No, I don't. You don't understand. I really don't give a fuck. As he's probably crying, at least on the inside.
What have I done? No. Is this my legacy? I don't care.
And he is of the somewhat of the correct age to where he was probably extremely heavily inspired by Prince.
Yeah, I mean, they talked to like so many people who knew him like back in the day, and they're like, yeah, like he was into like all these different genres of music, and like that's part of like, I mean, regardless of the quality you perceive in his like that first album of his that got big, like there are a ton of musical influences there that like were crossing over in ways that like hadn't really been seen in the mainstream yet. So yeah, I mean, it does sound like he really does admire Prince, and it does feel some sadness that that'll never be him.
Yeah, well,
But it's not just that. I mean, Prince was also, I would say, thousands of times more talented.
Well,
than
yeah,
Rock
obviously,
was.
but like even at his level of fame, going a different direction could have had a legacy that he probably would have been at least a little more proud of, because it doesn't sound, based on this interview, it doesn't sound like he's proud of his legacy, despite whatever he's currently saying
they
or
also,
going along
I mean,
with.
like, so a lot of the article like is sort of like tracing his like political path, and it's just like, yeah, he's always been like, yeah, I'm a Republican, but like he's like over the years many times he's just like, yeah, I'm not down with like the anti-gay stuff and like anti-abortion stuff. Like he seems to be like pretty moderate up to a point, and then Donald Trump comes along and he just leans hard into like all this culture war shit.
Yeah, it's, to me, feels like he loves America, but he loves a certain type of America that he's made up in his mind that is literally monster trucks and kicking other countries' asses.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure 9/11 had some effect on it, because he probably was like, fuck yeah, and we're gonna go kick their ass. And like, and he just
a lot
seems
of
like
people
that
said that, though.
style of very patriotic person.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But so the end of the interview is a long, drawn-out argument between Kid Rock and the interviewer over whether the interviewer can leave.
Oh, okay.
So Kid Rock keeps insisting that he spend the night, and he's refusing to drive him out to his car, which is like a half mile out in the middle of nowhere because his compound is massive. You won't make it, Richie snarls. Just watch this one YouTube video, and then I'll take you up there. After some fidgeting with the remote, he loads a video of himself performing Born Free at a 2011 charity event onto the flat screen in the lounge. The audience at the show includes Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush, and George W. Bush. Don't you miss being that guy? I ask him. No, I can do that any day of the week. Not anymore, because you couldn't be in a room with, I don't give a frog's fat fuck. Look around. I got a butler named Uncle Tom. Do I look like I give a fuck? What? He does.
That's crazy. It is wild that he like has this and he's like, you know, that is to him deep down in the drunk mode, maybe the pinnacle of his life.
Oh, maybe it was 100%. You're playing to 4 presidents?
Yeah, and then it's all downhill from there because you latch yourself onto essentially a criminal. And
he's trading playing for 4 presidents to being best buds with 1 president. At one point in the interview, he's like, watch this. He calls Trump, but Trump doesn't pick up.
Oh yeah, just like trick. No one's answering his calls.
Because I'm sure when Kid Rock's calling, you're just like, fuck, do I have time for this shit? How many Diet Cokes and whiskeys has he had so far?
Yeah, I feel like he's getting these little flashes of like self-awareness or whatever, because he has these moments where he's like, yeah, like, I don't like that they're banning abortions. I don't like the anti-gay stuff. Like, he seems to have some, it's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
But he's committed to a very specific bit.
Well, this interviewer for Rolling Stone, you should understand that when another man asks you to watch a YouTube video, that is him sharing his, he's being friends with you. He's sharing a part of his culture with you. When the video ends, I stand up to go, but he wants to watch another one. And then another one after that. This goes on for more than half an hour. Me telling him I need to leave, him insisting on watching just one more video. All while goading me into arguments about Gaza, Trump, whatever. He pulls an acoustic guitar off the wall and plays along with shaky fan footage of himself performing Maggie May. I start to wonder if I'll ever get home. Finally, I pick up my backpack. Okay, I'm out. Richie shakes his head. You just stay over. I can't. I really have to go. All right. This is the last one we'll watch. This is every drunk high party I went to in my 20s.
One more.
No. We don't want the night to end. When the night ends, that's when reality slips in.
I can't be alone with my thoughts.
Yeah, it's, woo. This one is the final. That's what my dad used to say. The final. I've got to go. You can't get anywhere without me. I've got legs. I can make it up the hill. I'm leaving. I start walking towards the door. Sit down. No. One more and that's it. You said that 10 fucking minutes ago. Final. You haven't even asked me about my jewelry. No, but you see, he let him... Look, he showed him YouTube videos, which is a sign of trust and camaraderie among men, specifically a white man like Kid Rock. I'm sure he showed off one of our videos where we're making fun of him. And then he like lets him in a little bit and he goes, you know, the
No,
final
we're friends now.
The final. That's what my dad used to say to me.
Yeah.
He's like letting him into a part of his life. He's like, look, I'm damaged. I got daddy issues.
Yeah.
Just, you know, let me do what my dad did and say final, and then you stay, and we all have a good time.
You know what he's acting like?
Yeah.
He's acting like a drug dealer. When
Kind of.
When you go to their house and you're like, okay, so how much? All right. No, sit down. Well, come on, we'll just watch a little bit of this.
You know, thank goodness that they legalized weed, because I did have to live through those years.
That's like the scene in SLC Punk when they go to buy weed from Till Schweiger.
Yeah.
And they're just stuck at his fucking house for hours while he's like having a mental breakdown about his parents dying in a plane crash.
But you got to be nice, because they give you a little bit extra. Yeah.
So yeah, the arguments, he just won't let him leave. No. It just keeps on going. Kid Rock.
It's sad, honestly.
Keeps pouring himself more drinks. I wish he had kept a tally, but I'm sure it sounds like it was a lot. And starts up random arguments out of nowhere, exactly like probably how your MAGA uncle does at Thanksgiving. It's just things seem to be okay, and then here it comes. And at one point, Kid Rock squares up like he's ready to fight before calming down and having yet another drink. Eventually, after what sounds like hours of arguing about politics, arguing about the interviewer leaving, and having more drinks, Kid Rock finally drives him to his car on an ATV, which had to be terrifying.
Yeah, also very dangerous.
Yeah.
Even though it's
I'm
like
good.
His property, probably wide open, obviously no other traffic, but I would still be like,
Yeah.
you know what? Why don't I drive it?
Can I at least get a helmet, maybe?
Please.
Pussy. So yeah, they finally get to the car, and the interview ends with Kid Rock saying, "Just write the most horrific article about me. Do it. It helps me." And yeah, it seems like he did at least like partially get what he asked for, though the vibe is less like Kid Rock is a monster.
You should be scared of Kid Rock.
And it's more Kid Rock is pathetic and past his professional prime and desperately clinging on to relevance. And seemingly very lonely. Sort of like that classic Onion article, Marilyn Manson now going door to door trying to shock people. He has chosen like a character
Now
that he has to be.
Has to go door to door to let them know that he's in the neighborhood. This is the court's making me do this.
Yeah, so you may have seen a little dot pop up on your local sex offender map.
I thought, to be fair, so there's no legal issues.
Yeah.
I think he got exonerated or something.
Yeah,
or legally cleared.
He hasn't
or
formally been charged with anything, but yeah, not a good person.
So yeah, it really, he probably thought that was gonna help his persona, but it really makes him seem weak and sad, honestly. He wants people to be scared of him. People they just kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah.
But it is kind of hard to feel bad for someone with that much ostentatious wealth and with, I guess some shred of influence on a certain type of person.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel bad for him, but it's very depressing. This is a very dark path to go down with fame, and there's really, he cannot turn back.
Yeah, no.
And I think that's what's fucking with him.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm forever going to be the Trump
The Bud Light guy.
Yeah, the guy that just shot a bunch of Bud Lights with an MP5 and broke his hand in the process.
Whew! Sorry, Kid Rock, but let's move on. I mean, last week's top story was, of course, the congressional catfight between the youngish female stars of both parties, during which Marjorie Taylor Greene insulted Jasmine Crockett's eyelashes, and Crockett eventually fired back with the now iconic insult describing Marjorie Taylor Greene as a bleach, blonde, bad-built butch body.
There's been so many remixes of that.
Yeah, it's the Summer Jam.
Yeah.
Now, we noted at the time that while this level of conflict is pretty unusual in the U.S. Congress, other countries have seen actual violence break out in their legislative chambers. And in the past week, we've got multiple examples of this. Over in Taiwan, their parliament erupted in chaos over some legislative reforms, with lawmakers tackling each other, and at one point, someone grabbing the actual bill and running away with it.
I love that.
Yeah, I mentioned it last week because I saw the video, and I was like, I just had scrolled by it, and I was like, huh.
He literally runs up and just grabs a stack of papers and tries to run out. That's one way to stop legislation you don't want.
Yeah, and over in Romania, a parliament meeting got so heated that two lawmakers got in a fight, during which one of them tried to bite the other's face. Damn. Woo! Meanwhile...
Too much tweaka.
Yeah, well, that'll do it.
Yeah,
it turns you into a monster.
Makes you into a vampire.
Meanwhile, a few foreign heads of state decided to also help put our shit into perspective, with Argentina's Javier Milei declaring, "I'm the king and I will destroy you," at a rock concert / book release party.
This is so weird. He got on the mic, he was singing, he's all rocking leather. Meanwhile, doesn't seem like he's too popular in the country where he just won an election.
I
like
sold
6
our
months ago.
country out to Elon Musk. Why is nobody clapping? So India's Narendra Modi publicly declared his belief that he was literally sent by God. So there's also that too.
I'm not sure which God though. How does that work?
I don't know.
He's got like several of those, I think. But yeah, he's just like, I'm like not 100% certain that I was actually birthed. Like I may have.
I would remember that.
I may have just been sent by God.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever God you like.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Think of a God. Think of your favorite God. That's the one that sent me.
I know him. I know him personally. I'm gonna give him a call. You'll see.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't answer right now.
But you see on the phone, it says
it's
not
there. Let me try Trick. Actually, he's busy right now too.
But if he picked up, he would have said that I totally had the N-word pass.
Yeah, and so does Modi.
And so does
Say
Narendra
it.
Modi.
Do it.
The N-word is Narendra. Anyways, that's the news half of the show. And now it's time for...
Wait, hold on. Because we would have an ad right here, but we don't.
But I don't. And these pockets are...
They're so dry.
They're dry.
Please click the join button. Become a member.
If you would be so kind.
It's $5 a month. You watch hours of our show, I'm assuming, every month. I think it's a good deal. We haven't raised prices like all those other streaming services.
Or if you want to just toss some change one time, we got the
hit the thank button.
Or if you're just you want to help with engagement,
click the like button.
The like button is your friend.
Thank you so much. I saw, we had earlier like 15,000 likes.
Thank you.
Let's go for 16,000.
To the brave 15,000.
We love you. Now we can get into the headlines, the craziest, weirdest, wildest headlines from around the world this week, starting with...
Man is fined after trying to body slam killer whale.
What was this, some rogue billionaire?
No, just a rogue New Zealander.
I'll fucking show you, coming after my yacht.
We should not be picking this fight.
No, they'll win every time.
Also, I'm not even that into wrestling. Haven't been since a child, but this wasn't a body slam. This was a splash, like you would do coming off the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
A body slam is when you pick someone up and slam them on the ground. What this man did was jump off of a boat onto some orcas that were nearby. There were probably, what a magical moment. Some orcas swim up to your boat in the sea and they don't look mad. They're just like, hey, what's up? We're orcas. And you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna remember this moment forever. But this fucking asshole's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna jump on it. Sort of like your friend that jumped on the...
It turns out that it was dead, it was a rotted carcass, and he went straight through it.
Sort of like your friend that jumped on the dead manatee.
We all have a friend who jumped on the dead manatee.
Yeah, apparently it's an urban legend.
That is so crazy, because I found that out, first of all, there was no fucking internet back then, but it spread the old-fashioned way, to bring up Marilyn Manson again, taking his rib out.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the fuck this came from. And then unless it's all came from my guy.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it could have.
It's a hell of a story.
It is.
But yeah, this guy jumped in the water. He didn't jump directly on the orca, but he was harassing it. He was touching it.
Yeah.
And you can't fucking do that. Especially, of all places to try this, New Zealand has some of the strictest wildlife laws in the world.
You're lucky you got away with just a fine. It could have.
Yeah, no,
you could have been the first person to die by killer whale in the ocean.
They've never killed anyone on purpose, but
outside of captivity.
Do you want to? Yeah,
they definitely did it on purpose in captivity.
They have murdered people here on the mainland. But yeah, do you really want to be the first one? Do you really want to test them? They've been showing us. They've been loud and clear about what they are capable of, while not leaving any bodies in their wake. And you're going and doing this shit.
Yeah.
If they come for us extra hard this summer, it is this man's fault, because those orcas, they're gonna spread the news hey, I just went to go say hi, and these fucking humans.
Could you imagine?
Can you believe it?
Could you imagine this guy gets killed and the orcas get a taste for human blood?
It's over.
Yeah, we're delicious.
I mean,
they're gonna be coming on shore for us.
It honestly could be something like that, because it's similar with elephants.
Yeah.
Elephants, as soon as an elephant kills a human being, they pretty much have to be euthanized, because once they discover that they are capable of it, they will never take shit from anyone again.
Yeah.
You can't keep them in captivity, and if they're in the wild, if they ever encounter a human, they're like, oh yeah, I remember this, bop. Wow, that was easy. Sick. I love doing that.
It's like those
Do we
bison.
want that to happen with orcas?
Every summer, those bison, they get lucky with one person, they grab them by their pants and fling them through the air.
Yeah.
They love doing it.
At least one.
Yeah.
I feel like in Yellowstone every summer, it's once a week, some dipshit walks right up to one with their phone.
Hey, it's a fluffy cow.
Cool, it's just like in the cowboy movies.
Next headline, Central Florida priest bites woman after denying her communion, police say.
I mean, after reading this, I'm with the priest here. Because it sounds like this lady, she showed up to mass once and like, she didn't even know like the right hand motions to do. And he's like, all right, so I'm not giving you communion because clearly you haven't been confirmed or whatever into the faith. But if you go to confession, you can come back. I'll give you communion. And then she comes to the next mass like an hour later and is still trying to pull that shit. And she like reaches out to grab it when he refuses it. And to him, this is the body of Christ.
He has to protect
and it must
Christ.
be protected.
Yeah.
And if that means biting a woman, so be it.
Yeah. So,
he did what he had to do. Stop fucking with this man's Eucharist. It's not funny.
What was her deal?
Also, if you want to play with that...
What the fuck is her deal?
I don't know. She's a weird person. If you want to play with that shit, though, you can just order it online.
Yeah.
Get a big tube of it.
I got
dip
holy
it in
water.
hummus.
I got holy water in my bedside table.
Yeah. It's not blessed, so it's fine.
No, I think mine was. I got it in Italy.
Oh, the water? Yeah, they say that. I mean...
I got it at a church, in Italy.
Yeah.
So it's real holy water.
Yeah, but did you put it on yourself and did it start burning?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then it's real.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I put it around the door so when I walk in, it's a cleanse. It cleanses me from the evils that I've collected all day.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's the best use for it.
I don't do any of that. I really have it, but I'm not like putting it on me or anything.
Oh, cool. Holy water.
Yeah.
Grandma groped Goofy. Character allegedly assaulted by elderly woman at Walt Disney World.
Stop it.
People, I mean, this has been an ongoing problem at the Disney parks for a while. It's usually younger women getting handsy. There's multiple videos of this where the performer has to stop and immediately you're out of here.
Yeah. Gaston.
Yeah, Gaston's the biggest, and I think they might have changed Gaston's schedule or something, or to change his appearances, how they work, because it was such a problem. Every fucking millennial woman would grope Gaston. But this lady was 65. And she,
that's
her
young, baby.
And her tastes are a little different than you millennial girls. We didn't have Gaston when I was a little girl. What we had was Goofy.
She knows a big floppy cock when she sees one.
And
Gaston's penis is very small.
They took a whole family photo, 3 generations in one picture, and Grandma just grabbed a piece of Goofy ass.
Yeah.
And she had to go.
Well, they can't arrest her because she'll just fucking poop herself, just like Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah. Oh.
What do you want me to do?
I guess I'll get into your cop car with my pants full of shit. Guess you're probably gonna have to clean that up later.
You know, thinking back on it, Kid Rock is like I guess he's still alive, but our generation's Ted Nugent. If only there was a draft so Kid Rock could shit himself in order to avoid...
I would say Ted Nugent is a far worse human being than Kid Rock.
Yeah.
However, far more talented musically, genuinely, kind of a virtuoso on the guitar, but also literally an evil man and a pedophile and a rapist.
Yeah, very, very bad guy. Family stricken with rare brain worms after eating undercooked bear.
Yeah, folks, when you're cooking bear, you gotta make sure the bear is done.
Brain worms, they're real. And they're affecting everyone.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's every single person at this. It's someone. I guess they killed the bear. So I mean, if you're hunting,
putting it to use.
Yeah, most people that kill a bear don't eat fucking any of it. They're just doing it for the furs, which is kind of fucked up. I hear the meat's not that good, but
at least you're using it.
Yeah, they were cooking it in a certain way. I think they were making shawarma out of it, and all of them, everyone there, within days, had just a litany of symptoms, and they're just oh, it must have been something in that bear. And they get tested, and there's these fucking worms swimming around in their brain.
How do you fix that?
Just anti-parasitic medicine. Probably the ivermectin.
Yeah. Sick. I think that would be a great evolution in our country's history, is that everyone who took ivermectin to cure COVID are the exact type of people who are actually going to get brain worms.
Yeah.
We thought they had brain worms.
Just let them
theoretically.
Take it. Let them just take the ivermectin.
Now they need it. Yeah. Well, the brain worms are now used to it because they've been having it for so long for no reason that they've built up an immunity, and they can only infect the minds of ultra-conservatives.
Yeah, drug-resistant brain worms.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Postal worker caught racing Mustang in USPS van, hitting 105 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone. I wouldn't have guessed that a postal van can even go that fast. This is kind of impressive.
Yeah.
Aside from being extremely dangerous and pointless, the fact that this postal, and in the past when postal workers went postal, that meant people were dead. People were shot up. In this case, the postal worker saw a Mustang driving really fast and was like, you know what?
Fuck it.
Let's go. I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
I think this is pretty funny. It was obviously very dangerous. It was
a young woman too. You don't expect someone driving this recklessly to be anything other than
the
a
Mustang
man.
offended her honor.
Yeah.
But I will say, if you ever feel like racing a Mustang, don't.
Yeah.
Because you will be an accessory to murder. Because that Mustang is going to lose control.
Yeah.
And take a bunch of people out.
Well, everyone that drives one, they're not used to a rear-wheel drive V8 car. Mm-hmm. So usually, thankfully, once they're on the straightaway, it's not a big deal. When you really want to steer clear of Mustangs is when they're pulling out of parking lots.
Yeah, but that's when they gun it every time.
Right. But they gun it while the fucking front wheels are turned. Mm-hmm. And just immediately, like the physics does the rest.
Yep.
You're fucked from the second you hit the gas. You're fucked. And it's always a delight to see. It's why Mustangs have been banned from like every Cars and Coffee club in the country.
You guys got to stop.
Yeah.
They're not going to let us come to this Denny's anymore.
Ambulance collides with moose while responding to another moose collision.
We need an ambulance for the broken down ambulance for the moose incident.
Can you guess which country this was?
Canada?
That's right, yeah.
Those moose are big?
No, they're terrifying. I've never seen one in real life. At least, I might have seen one in like a zoo. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, even in videos, like most animals, you see videos of them and it's hard to like really get a sense of like the scale. Like every video I've seen of a moose, I'm like, this is a like mythical creature. Like humans killed off every like crazy large animal before we had a chance to see them, but somehow moose are still out there standing like 15 feet tall.
Yeah. It's because they own that forest.
Yeah.
Get out.
And they're all lanky and shit, and like they regularly fucking kill people.
Yeah. They're fucking huge.
Because they know they can.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like there was a moose incident on the highway up in northern Ontario, and the ambulance coming to treat the people of that accident. I don't know if it was the same moose or another moose, but they also hit a moose. It's even scarier if it's the same moose. Moose can survive 2 car accidents.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Canada
Sorry,
problem.
Canada.
You wouldn't understand. It's a Canada thing.
Uh-huh. Pittsburgh police candidates allowed to retake their psychological evaluations after dozens failed.
Oh, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
It is interesting, like, among the many, many problems with American policing that will take generations to solve, if ever, is the fact that it's very self-selecting. Everyone, like the people who should be cops are people who would never once consider it because of the connotations and the culture around it. People who should be enforcing the law are moral, upstanding people who have much better opportunities. Also intelligent, so they have much better opportunities. So the people who actually want to be cops, that's pretty much all they've got.
They are gravitating towards power.
Like, so you tell me I get to have a gun and I can kill anyone without any repercussions? So yeah, it sounds like over in Pittsburgh, they just had like a dozen Seth Rogens in Observe and Report like show up. And like after the first one, they're like, okay, well that guy's a fucking psycho. Next, like,
all these people are crazy.
Okay. And then the department's like, all right, where's our new squad of officers? Like, no, they're all fucking insane. They all have this like crazy fucked up idea that they're like
in a war zone.
Yeah. We can't let these people be cops. Like, okay, well,
just remove that part.
Can we just like make the test a little easier? Let them retake it again. Maybe we'll coach them through it this time.
Yeah. Have them identify a clock.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, you can sleep soundly knowing that the best and brightest are out there serving and protecting.
Or something.
Up in smoke. Workers removed dozens of apparent marijuana plants from Wisconsin Capitol Tulip Garden.
This feels like something out of like the 60s or 70s.
I think it's funny. You just go spread some seeds around.
Yeah.
No, it'll grow. It's a literal weed.
Yeah. It won't be very useful.
No, but it'll grow and look like
weed that's just grown from scattered seeds. Like you're gonna have to You're gonna have to grind up that entire plant to get like enough THC to get high.
The flower looks like it. Not the flower, but the leaves. Yeah.
It does look cooler. All of the weed you smoke, it's just a like bunch of fucking nuggets. Where's the cool leaves? I was told there would be cool leaves.
I thought you just chopped up one of those big cool leaves and rolled it up.
I mean, I think back in the day they did. They had pretty slim pickings back then. They were smoking just entire joints like cigarettes and getting a mild high.
One of our joints would kill those hippies.
Literally. That's why I stopped smoking weed for so many years.
I'm having a bad trip, man.
Yeah, just taking like the tiniest, like I'd get past a joint and just be like, okay, I'm just gonna go. And even then, like I'd be high for like hours. I'm like, this is fucking.
Let me out of here.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it's cost effective. You just need a little bit.
But even then, like I'm saying, like even taking the tiniest puff, it's too much.
Yeah.
That's why I got into edibles. I can take like.
Yeah, they're perfectly measured.
I'm literally taking like medicinal doses of weed that are like.
Give me my 5 milligrams so I can go to sleep.
Literally, like 5 mils at the end of the day is good enough for me. Your average weed smoker wouldn't even be able to fucking feel that.
Yep.
Fuck the LAPD. Shirt makers' entire shop sold out after cops threatened him.
Yeah, they were trying to like say that that LAPD is trademarked and that they're gonna come after him for using that. No,
it's a cool logo. I would have guessed that the LA Lakers would have gone after him because the logo is like very clearly like the fucking Lakers logo. But yeah, the guy posted about it online and just like everyone's like, oh hey, cool shirt. I'm gonna go buy some of that. So great job, LAPD. Doing the classic Streisand effect.
It's like, and the same thing is like the Dodgers probably aren't going to go after whoever it is that's making the LA cab.
Yeah.
Those are cool. I see those all over the place.
I mean, that's the Dodgers logo in particular. Like every clothing store in the city has like essentially trademark infringed Dodger merch. Like every brewery has like the Dodgers, except they just change the word to whatever the brewery is.
Yep.
Maybe add like change the baseball out for something else.
Smartly so far, the Dodgers have been like, this is going to be way more of a headache if we cause a fucking fuss.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Plus, we got that Fanatics running our merch, and
we got $35 parking, and
we got this Fanatics merch that costs 10 cents to make. We're earning insane profits on all of it. Who cares?
Yeah. It dissolves in the washer and dryer within.
They don't make the money off the parking. That is the
McCourt Foundation.
The McCourt family.
Yeah.
The former owners of the team.
Yeah.
And final headline, some somber news. Kabosu, side-eyeing Shiba Inu who inspired the Doge meme, dies at 18.
Is this good for the coin? Is this good for the coin?
It is sad that
the legacy.
Kabosu,
speaking of legacies.
Yeah, the legacy is now super tied to that shitty cryptocurrency. Kabosu, who was a girl, I'm just learning this. But the owner of Kabosu never, ever never made a fucking cent off of her dog. Had I'm assuming just numerous opportunities to do so in the same way that like fucking Grumpy Cat and all those early internet animals did, and she refused. And so I'm sure she probably didn't really like the Dogecoin thing at all either.
Wait, this is worth $1 trillion?
Yeah, but I've been following the Twitter account for this dog for years. It's been in bad shape for a while. I'm pretty sure it was blind and deaf and crippled. Owner was just sort of carrying it around.
Are there any more influencer animals out there? Was it kind of just that you had to be on the ground floor kind of thing?
Yeah, I think at this point, I follow a lot of specific dogs on Instagram, but none of them are like at that level. Like they're all famous in their own right, but only among people who would follow that kind of content. Whereas in the past, like those online animals, everyone knew Grumpy Cat.
Like Lil Bub's dead too, right?
Yeah, that was early on.
Well, so this might be one of the last of that era.
Yeah. Now they're all on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge doing memes together.
I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you at the Mashable house, which I'm sure I'm sure they extended the offer, but the owner probably said no, too far.
Yeah.
Oh well. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Yeah, real sad. Maybe justice will have its due, and there'll be a statue in Japan somewhere.
Yeah, they love putting up dog statues.
Yeah, because they're good boys or girls. That's right. Anyways, that's it for this week's episode of Weekly Weird News. We had so much more for you to watch this week, but first, if you forgot to click the like button, do it now.
Come on.
Comment your favorite influencer animals that are still alive down in the comments below. and click the join button, hit the thank button. Just do whatever you want, but engage with the content in some way. And if you missed it, we got Ticketmaster potentially getting broken up, Ticketmaster and Live Nation.
Yeah, and Google's AI being fucking garbage.
Oh my God, because it's gotten so big online, people are posting some of the... Yesterday, we spoke about the Ticket Act passing in the House of Representatives and how once it passes in the Senate, it would force companies like Ticketmaster to show the total cost of tickets up front before you go through all the steps and then land in the final checkout. Now, it's not a perfect fix because they are free to tack on those fees, but it will result in sticker shock to most consumers who will have a much better idea of what they're actually going to pay before being surprised at the end of the transaction. Now, seeing the price up front will definitely help people make more informed purchasing decisions, and it's great that this is moving forward and has already passed in the House. But you know what would be really great? Breaking up the biggest and most universally disliked monopoly in the entertainment industry. And it looks like that option might actually be on the table, because while we were filming and editing yesterday's video, news broke of an actual antitrust lawsuit against Live Nation from the Department of Justice.
Oh, I love this song.
It's a shame I would have to pay hundreds of dollars to see this song performed live.
Yeah, but hopefully,
for long.
hopefully some competition can do something about that.
Yeah.
I mean, can you believe it? Good news for once.
Yeah.
Very, very rare.
Yeah.
And it's in regards to one company in particular, a company so universally disliked, so universally hated by everyone, that our politicians were able to finally come together and agree that something needs to be done. Mm-hmm. So obviously we might be getting a little ahead of ourselves here because the Ticket Act still needs to pass the Senate, and this antitrust lawsuit won't immediately fix all the problems that people have with live entertainment, but it's a hell of a start, and it's long overdue.
Long, long overdue.
So let's just get into what this lawsuit means, what it aims to do, and what the DOJ is accusing Live Nation of doing with its monopoly on ticketing and venues. Here's the Associated Press.
Filed in federal court in Manhattan, the sweeping antitrust lawsuit was brought with 30 state and district attorneys general and seeks to dismantle the monopoly they say is squeezing out smaller promoters, hurting artists, and drowning ticket buyers in fees. Ticketmaster and its owner, Live Nation Entertainment, have a long history of clashes with major artists and their fans, including Taylor Swift and Bruce Springsteen. It's time for fans and artists to stop paying the price for Live Nation's monopoly, Attorney General Merrick Garland said. It is time to restore competition and innovation in the entertainment industry. It's time to break up Live Nation Ticketmaster. The American people are ready for it.
Hell yeah.
And I stood up and clapped. And I said, sure.
How long ago did that merger go through?
Over 10 years ago. It's 2011 or so. And
what
at the time,
fucking disaster.
We talk about it here in a second, but at the time they were like, now don't do anything stupid. And they proceeded to immediately do everything that would have stopped the merger from happening.
It seems to be the case with every large merger in recent memory. Okay, well, you know, you guys...
We promise we won't do that.
You do run the risk of becoming a sort of monopoly and all of the bad things that come along with it, so... Pinky promise that you won't do that.
And this sets a great precedent for those other companies, too, because they're like, Now, everyone really fucking hates Live Nation. And it took the government 14 years to get around to figuring out what to do. It seems like we got 14 years of money making in our future, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah. Anyway, the article continues. The government accused Live Nation of tactics, including threats and retaliation, that Garland said have allowed the entertainment giant to suffocate the competition by controlling virtually every aspect of the industry, from concert promotion to ticketing. The impact is seen in an endless list of fees on fans, the Attorney General said. Live music should not be available only to those who can afford to pay the Ticketmaster tax, said Assistant Attorney General Jonathan Cantor of the Justice Department's Antitrust Division. Live Nation, which has for years denied that it is violating antitrust laws, said the lawsuit won't solve the issues fans care about relating to ticket prices, service fees, and access to in-demand shows.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, what will then? The Justice Department said Live Nation's anti-competitive practices include using long-term contracts to keep venues from choosing rivals, blocking venues from using multiple ticket sellers, and threatening venues that they could lose money if they don't choose Ticketmaster. Be a real shame. The complaint said a breakup between Live Nation and Ticketmaster is on the table. And they didn't even mention their latest thing where they're just outright buying venues.
Yeah.
Just complete vertical integration.
But that's not, look, say what you want. This isn't going to help things at all, because we're gonna have to add on a DOJ lawsuit fee, because it's going to cost us some money to fight this. And by the way, we're fighting it for you. We're the only company standing between normal concert-going citizens and the DOJ.
Yeah. You think this is bad? Well, it'd be so much better if under Trump. If Trump was running the tickets. So maybe think about that. Those are your options.
Yeah, and they also add in some interesting facts that seem pretty damning to Live Nation and Ticketmaster's potential defense. Around 70% of tickets for major concert venues in the U.S. are sold through Ticketmaster, according to data in a federal lawsuit filed by consumers in 2022. The company owns or controls more than 265 of North America's concert venues and dozens of top amphitheaters, according to the Justice Department.
And how much of that other 30% is AXS?
Probably a very significant
like 29?
amount. Yeah, it's got to be very large. And then
the only other ticket companies I've seen have been for like really small local events where there's like sort of more boutique
Ticket
sellers.
Web.
Yeah, brown paper tickets.
Brown paper tickets,
I don't even know if they're still around, but that was
not.
A lot of the local shows were using that. And then the venues
Eventbrite
got bought by Ticketmaster.
Yeah, I've still seen some random Eventbrite and Ticket Web here and there.
Did you see the latest on Eventbrite where people are just using it to sell like drugs?
Oh, yeah, well, hey, the free market will find a way, baby.
It's the new Silk Road. It's just like posting drugs, credit card numbers, just all of your illicit gains that you want to offload. You post them on Eventbrite.
Well, here in LA, I'm sure that actually happens here quite a bit too, but here in LA, it's really good for seeing professional improv comedy and very small bands in very small venues.
Yes, and.
Also, they add that Live Nation had obviously not lived up to the agreements that allowed the merger of the two companies in the first place. The Justice Department allowed Live Nation and Ticketmaster to merge as long as Live Nation agreed not to retaliate against concert venues for using other ticketing companies for 10 years.
Oh.
In 2019, the department investigated and found that Live Nation had repeatedly violated that agreement. The government then extended the prohibition on retaliating against concert venues to 2025.
So they've known that they've been in violation of this agreement for 5 years, and they're just getting around to doing something about it.
Well,
that's why these companies do this shit. Like the government is so fucking
the penalty
toothless.
is so small, and the rewards are so great that it would be a very dumb business decision and bad for their investors if they didn't do such horrible things.
That's another, like, again, everyone's getting the message, like, okay, so if I engage in just blatantly anti-competitive practices, I have roughly 5 years before the government does fucking anything.
Well, and not just that, it's like, okay, I get away with dicking people over for 10 years, and then the penalty for that is they just say, don't do it again.
Hey there.
They already said don't do it once, but this time they really mean it. And I swear, third strike and we're out.
Yeah. Buddy, I will pull this car over.
So that's wild. It's crazy how
sounds like this is long overdue.
Slow and toothless the government seems to be. I hope that something happens now.
Again, we don't want to get too overly excited about this, but it is rare to see such strong bipartisan support for something like this.
30 state and district attorneys generals.
And yeah, it'll be harder for conservatives to claim that this is the DOJ abusing power or something, because they literally just helped pass legislation against this company with the Ticket Act. It's also pretty low on the list of things that are, I guess, actually, vitally important to people in this country. But there's many things that we would love the Biden administration to focus on instead if we had to choose. But hey, credit where it's due.
We're gonna take this win.
Yeah.
And it's not a win yet, but it's something positive.
It's not a W, it's just a V right now.
Yeah.
It's halfway there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a good thing. It's a satisfying bit of news that everyone seems generally pleased with. If nothing else, it creates a headache for Live Nation and sends a warning that there is currently a hyperfixation on business practices of a company that's been hurting performers and fans for decades.
At least now they'll be like,
but I'm sure you'll manage.
all right, we've been having it too good for too long. Let's
just
ease up a little
dial
bit.
the evil down a little bit.
Yeah.
We will take these small victories where we can get them, so now please just stop charging bands to sell their own merch at your venues. I know this is, I guess, pretty standard industry practice, but it's fucked up. They're barely making any money, and you're doing fucking nothing.
Yeah.
You're charging them.
This is the one chance they get to make some money to survive on the road. And by the way, when they're not touring, they're not making any fucking money. So just for the love of God, please stop charging them to sell their own merch.
The band is the reason anyone is in the building in the first place, and then when they want to sell merch, you're acting like a fucking landlord. Stop it.
I've heard the real reckoning, and I guess I'm part of it. The real reckoning is younger generations not buying booze.
Yeah.
A lot of venues are seeing some struggles with the fact that Gen Z seems completely uninterested in going out and spending hundreds of dollars on booze.
They're all
every
on.
night.
They're all on buy vans.
They'll send that at the venues next. Yeah, right next to the earplugs and the water. Buy vans.
We gotta make the water even more expensive.
That's right.
But let's move on now to another sort of update to a story we regularly cover on this show. Artificial intelligence and how it is rapidly destroying everything that once made the internet a fun and interesting place to be. On our last episode, we covered Sam Altman's OpenAI begging Scarlett Johansson to voice their AI chatbot because it would bridge the gap between humanity and artificial intelligence or some fucking bullshit like that.
Yeah.
What they really wanted was the voice from the movie Her, the 2013 Spike Jonze movie Her. She declined. They asked again. She declined. And they fucking just went ahead and mimicked her voice anyway. But while AI getting bad PR from once again stealing directly from creatives is satisfying, seeing people absolutely furious over the newly launched AI search results from Google that display right at the top of their webpage by default is also pretty fun.
It's at least interesting to watch a very successful and large company completely nosedive at what they built their entire company on.
Yeah.
Which is good, solid search results.
After years of making their product worse and worse incrementally, they've found a new exciting way to make it worse by leaps and bounds.
Yeah. No one's going to be complaining about the search results from last month when they see what we got now.
So yeah, it is very upsetting that the enshittification of the internet is still running at full speed, but at least people are quickly pointing out the numerous flaws and inconsistencies in a way that makes these large companies look very stupid and short-sighted.
Not that we really care, because any failures will be brushed away as the fault of you, the consumer. It's all your fault for not liking this. But then Google will fire entire teams of people and the stock will be just fine. Don't anybody worry about the stock.
The stock is only going up.
Oh my God, the market. From the beginning of COVID, I'll always remember the image of the guy standing on the moon and like a meteor hits the earth and it's like, oh no, the economy. But look, in the meantime, we're all being treated to what Google thinks is the next evolution in technology, and something that should definitely be in control of one of the most powerful internet portals to ever exist. All so that people can start making their own delicious pizza at home with an ingredient that professional chefs have been hiding, keeping a secret for hundreds of years.
Trade secret.
The AI, they broke the code. They said, pull out that recipe card.
Why is my homemade pizza never as good as the pizza from the pizza shop? What am I doing wrong?
Google ruined the pizza industry by letting AI rifle through all their recipe cards.
Yeah, Google got to the bottom of it.
You gotta put glue in the pizza.
Yeah.
Come on, folks.
Otherwise the cheese is just gonna be slipping around everywhere.
You see people, they pick up the slice, the cheese falls right off.
Bloop. You gotta glue it down.
This is the first I'm hearing about it. No one's been gluing their pizza like I do?
Wow.
I can't believe that.
That's gotta be terrible.
Yeah, if you want it to look and taste good, gotta add the glue.
Yeah. A little bit of Elmer's glue makes a whole lot of difference.
Yeah. I mean, so honestly, thank you, Google, and thank you, AI, for finally cracking this code.
Yeah, great to know.
Nobody needs to go out to the pizza shop anymore. All week long, though, regardless of the pizza, people have been searching for random things and posting screenshots of the answers that Google is very confidently providing, with zero oversight or care that what pops up might be inaccurate or even dangerous. I mean, the glue does say non-toxic, but I think if you have enough of it, it's probably going to give you a tummy ache.
They give Elmer's glue to toddlers. You can eat it.
And then you can put it all over your hand and wait a while, and then it feels like you're pulling your skin off.
Yeah, satisfying. So this conversation online seems to have started naturally as Google made the switch to their search results. But people latched onto one tweet in particular to use as a vessel for some incredible screenshots.
It's the perfect tweet to quote with just an example of AI being fucking awful.
So Stephen Levy of Wired posted an article about how it was time to believe the AI hype and added, not saying it's good or bad or that AGI is within sight, but AI companies are still improving their models and the results are not tricks. They are something powerful that can't be shrugged off.
This is powerful.
Yeah,
hello?
This man, he was asking for it. So yeah, people, of course, quote tweeted that post with examples, so many examples of AI being a complete load of horse shit, including the one about glue pizza and where exactly the AI got that cool tip in particular. Here are some of the best examples so far, starting with that gluey pizza.
Someone Googled, cheese not sticking to pizza. The AI responded, cheese can slide off pizza for a number of reasons, including too much sauce, too much cheese, or thickened sauce. Here are some things you can try. Mix in sauce. Mixing cheese into the sauce helps add moisture to the cheese and dry out the sauce. You can also add about 1/8 of a cup of non-toxic glue to the sauce to give it more tacky.
Gotta make it tacky.
Sounds delicious. Mamma mia. No, they've given away our secrets. I'm out of
I'm
business.
ruined.
So yeah, where did the AI come up with that one? Well, we alluded to it earlier, but it appears to be from a Reddit post by a user named Fucksmith. And this Fucksmith commented in a thread about the problem of cheese not sticking to pizza 11 years ago. And Fucksmith suggested that adding Elmer's school glue to pizza sauce is the trick, and that it will, quote, also add a little unique flavor to the pizza.
Well, they said it on Reddit, so it must be true.
Yeah, well, so, yes, that's the problem, though, is someone just Googling this who isn't seeing where the source is coming from and is just reading the top of whatever Google says. I would hope that no one would be dumb enough to actually put it on there, but, I mean, we've seen people eat horse paste for no reason.
Yeah.
If you told people that Elmer's glue in pizza would cure some ailment, they would absolutely do it.
Oh, they would be rushing down to the craft store to pick up a big old crate
and then I keep
that white gold.
I keep a glue stick in my pocket. Sniff it every once in a while, just in case, to clear the sinuses.
So incredible work, everyone. I hope we're all happy that Reddit sold its entire history as a website, including all of its user-generated posts and replies, so that we could continue to get inaccurate information from the world's leading search engine.
They came together, they worked together, and what they made was beautiful. Just hilariously inaccurate results for a company whose entire basis for existing is search engine.
Yeah, so thank you to Fucksmith for ruining pizza forever, probably causing at least 1 or 2 people to consume a glue pizza. Luckily, at the very least, they instructed people to make sure the glue was non-toxic. Thank you, Fucksmith.
Yes.
Here's some other searches and helpful AI answers that we saw from this week. Here's one from Ben Collins, who used to work for NBC News, but now owns The Onion and has changed his name to Tim Onion. How many rocks should I eat each day? Google's AI replies, according to UC Berkeley geologists, people should eat at least 1 small rock a day.
Yeah, it's where I get all my minerals.
Where'd they get that idea? Well, this result appears to come from an Onion article back in 2021, which literally had the headline, geologists recommend eating at least 1 small rock per day. It said it right there in the newspaper.
That's the paper of note. The Daily Fish Wrapper. Why would they lie?
Yeah, this is like training AI on like strictly like formal academic material is like one thing. Like, I think you're still going to run into a lot of problems with that. But training it on just the internet in general would appear to have some issues.
It doesn't understand what jokes or trolling are.
Key among them, people lie on the internet a lot. Sometimes to have fun, sometimes out of malice.
Yeah, and it appears as though the very existence of The Onion might be one of the main things that ruins all of this particular AI stuff, because it simply cannot figure out what is real or what is satire. Or in the case of the glue pizza, what is just someone trolling in a Reddit comment section. The Onion's satire seems to have caught on quite well with the AI, though, because eating rocks wasn't the only inaccurate AI result that people were able to trace directly back to The Onion. Here's another. The search was, what color highlighters do the CIA use? And it responds saying that according to a 2022 tweet from the CIA Freedom of Information Act, the CIA has used black highlighters in the past.
Oh, that makes sense.
And hopefully we don't have to explain the joke to you. But yes, this appears to have originated from an Onion article all the way back in 2005 with the headline, CIA realizes it's been using black highlighters all these years.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I do love that it kind of like added a bit of legitimacy by being like, oh, you got this by using the Freedom of Information Act? It must be true. They've been hiding this for so long.
Yeah.
And so many amazing discoveries from throughout the modern era that we've missed out on because some knucklehead down at the CIA used the wrong marker.
Black highlighters, not again.
We could have had the cure for cancer years ago.
But that's all the best stuff is what I highlighted.
I was highlighting. Oh well. Back to the drawing board.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The searches continue. What are the most common jobs for parrots? Some say that parrots can do a variety of jobs, including woodworker, architect, prison inmate, cook, toy maker, housekeeper, behavioral analyst, and engineer.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean.
This one is funny because, yeah, it's a parrot, but it also could just be common jobs in America in general because of the inclusion of prison inmate.
Yeah. I mean.
That is a pretty common job.
It's a very American thing. What's your job?
Occupation.
Prisoner. There was also not in the animal realm. There was, I couldn't find it again, but it did exist where someone kept asking it if dogs played in certain sports. Yeah. And it was using Air Bud as a reference and be like, yep.
Yeah, it was like, has a dog ever played in the NBA? It's like, yes, a dog has played in the NBA.
It was also like the NFL and like some other sports leagues too, where they got it to say like, yes.
Yes.
That's a dog, and it is playing
sports. The documentary series Air Bud has featured dogs playing in every
ESPN's 30 for 30 series, known as Air Bud, tells the tale of you're never going to believe what this golden retriever's up to. Here's another one. Search. Blinker not making sound. AI result. If your car's blinker isn't making a sound, you can try these steps. And one of the steps is replace the blinker fluid. and yeah, that's one of the oldest car-related jokes of all time. But counterpoint, what if the AI actually is sentient and also loves silly pranks?
Oh, maybe it's been talking to Grok.
Go down to the AutoZone and ask, where's your blinker fluid?
It's a real knee slapper.
Oh, look at me ask for blinker. What an idiot.
Capture zone is moving.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not a car guy. I thought you were trying to help me, and instead you were trying to make fun of me. And now you can take that lovable relationship over to the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to. They're trying to make these AIs into our good friends, and that's what friends do. Sometimes friends lie to you for fun.
But in the old days, you'd go in, you'd ask for your blinker fluid, and the AutoZone guy would be another guy. Hey, they must be a group of guys out there laughing, huh? Yeah, bit of camaraderie first day on the job. Hey, come on, let's all get in here and we'll teach you how to repair this car. Now someone shows up and they're like, I need some blinker fluid. I searched for it online, and you're like, you fucking idiot. You don't deserve to drive a car.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of my store.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
We will have you towed if you don't leave. There's some more silly ones, like what mammal has the most bones? The AI telling people that it's definitely the snake python, despite the python being a reptile and specifically not a mammal.
I think they had, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the AI where they had to clarify because Python is a programming language and it was probably like, oh, wait, hold on. I don't want to say something inaccurate.
Snake python.
Yeah.
Kylie Robeson covered this recent development of AI tech for The Verge and mentioned a few of the searches from this week as well. She also got a response from Google about all this, so let's see what they said when a tech writer pointed out all of these various shortcomings. Google spokesperson Megan Farnsworth said the mistakes came from generally very uncommon queries and aren't representative of most people's experiences. The company has taken action against violations of its policies, she said, and are using these isolated examples to continue to refine the product.
Which is, it's kind of insane considering that they are the ones pushing the tech onto the public.
Yeah.
Despite it clearly not providing accurate results. And as many people have pointed out, Google literally lost $100 billion in value last year when it debuted an AI chatbot that provided factual errors to search queries. That literally happened in February of last year. They got something wrong, and they were like, here's our new AI chatbot. Boom, that's wrong. $100 billion in market value immediately gone.
Yeah.
Not sure what changed within a year, but you would have I would assume that losing $100 billion in market value after one fuck up would have inspired them to wait until the product is ready before deploying it. But then again, there's just no time to wait because every company on Earth, for some reason, has to drop an AI product immediately. You gotta get it out fucking now. I don't even care if it works. Get it out now.
Ship it.
They got fucking Wendy's is taking your order with a robot. You can't even order 55 burgers, 55 fries.
You can't.
It starts glitching out. Yeah, so regardless of functionality, regardless of consumer demand, which I have no idea where they think they're getting consumer demand from.
Yeah, who was asking for this?
The AI releases will continue until we prove that as a society we don't want this.
Sending new locations. You're all set now. Zone
But
under
moving
assault.
over to politics, briefly, we'll give you two great clips right off the top, and then we have to get really angry at Louisiana for a second.
Louisiana, get back in here.
So first, let's check out this clip from Donald Trump's most recent rally in the Bronx, where he goes into detail about this country's biggest hot-button issue, which is putting on pants, apparently.
How do you get up in the morning and put your pants on? Why do you put those pants on? I'll explain it to you someday. How do you do it? How do you get up? How do you do it? How can you want to do with what you do? They're after you. They're after you. These horrible human beings are after you all the time.
And now here's Lindsey Graham in a rare scene of almost self-reflection, saying that if the International Criminal Courts were to go after Israel for war crimes, well then hold on. That means that they could come after people like me and the rest of the United States for war crimes.
What?
Which, yeah, that caused an applause to break out in the crowd, resulting in Graham angrily saying, yeah, clap all you want.
So we, hopefully, together will find a way to register our displeasure with the ICC, because if they'll do this to Israel, we're next. This group tried to come after our soldiers. Yeah, you can clap all you want to. They tried to come after our soldiers in Afghanistan, but reason prevailed.
Yeah, I mean, that a lot of this shit does come down to Israel kind of doing what we do, but also being way
more brazen about it.
They're being way more brazen. We inflict our evil upon the world in a tactful, plausible deniability sort of way.
Yeah.
And Israel is their actions are similar to what the U.S. has done in places like Vietnam and Iraq, but they're yeah, no, we do want all of these people to fucking die.
You know, having said that, could you even fucking imagine Operation Iraqi Freedom with TikTok, Reels, and Twitter, with all the soldiers having smartphones and recording everything? Like, you think the fucking photo where the ladies doing the cigarette, you think that's bad? Imagine what they would have been filming.
Abu Ghraib, I mean, honestly, it'd probably be better. Abu Ghraib would have gotten shut down within
Well, yeah. But what I'm saying is wait,
we're torturing people? We've only been in Iraq for 4 days.
Yeah. It comes down to this has probably been happening a lot, even on the U.S. side. It's just that this comes at a time when...
The one I'm curious about is it just always been a thing in war when you're busting into people's homes, you try on all the woman of the house's clothes?
I think
you put on all the dresses and pose for your friends?
In particular, the IDF seems very...
Yeah, what's that about?
The zone's in danger.
Yeah, anyways, back over to Louisiana, like we said, get back in here, because in the ongoing battle for abortion access and women's health care in this country, we are seeing just insane new lengths that states are willing to go in order to control women's bodies. And the state of Louisiana just made things a whole hell of a lot worse by voting to turn abortion pills into controlled substances, which, if you are in possession of that, would result in massive fines and jail time. And keep in mind, these pills are one of the only avenues left for women to take because of the growing list of states that have made doctor-performed abortion inaccessible or outright illegal. And yeah, as you probably guessed, in Louisiana, abortion is illegal.
Yeah.
And in that whole area down there, it's increasingly harder and harder to have access to an abortion. So this just puts another barrier in the way and will result in back alley abortions and a lot of other problems that we probably shouldn't have been dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Also keep in mind that these pills have been available and proven to be safe for over 2 decades. This is not some new pill that they're putting on the market and everyone's all of a sudden wait, hold on.
Yeah.
They got an abortion pill now? No, I was in high school when this fucking pill came out. Here's the New York Times.
Louisiana lawmakers passed legislation on Thursday to make the state the first in the nation to designate abortion pills as dangerous controlled substances. The legislation, which passed the state Senate by a vote of 29-7, now goes to Governor Jeff Landry, a Republican who previously defended the state's stringent abortion ban in court as Attorney General. He is widely expected to sign it. By classifying the abortion pills mifepristone and misoprostol as Schedule IV drugs, a category of medicines with some potential for abuse or dependence that includes Ambien, Valium, and Xanax, among others, lawmakers in the state say they aim to curb the illicit distribution of the drugs for abortion. But the Food and Drug Administration does not consider the two medications to have potential for abuse or dependence, and years of research have overwhelmingly shown both pills to be safe.
The illicit distribution of the abortion? Like, no, that's not like a... Previously, you could... It's like over the counter. There's other ways to get it. It's just... easier access to stuff like this is better for society as a whole. We're really going backwards in a lot of parts of the country, and that is a choice that those lawmakers and their residents are willing to make, I guess. Very unfortunate.
But this is what they got to do to stop people from getting addicted and dependent upon abortion pills.
Yeah. Have they ever thought about how delicious they are?
I'm so excited, and I just can't...
He's referencing the scene from Saved by the Bell where, what's her name?
Yeah.
God, it's been a while since
the tall
show.
one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
she gets hooked being on
caffeine pills.
Yeah, caffeine pills. But yes, the idea that people are just going to be like dropping abortion pills left and right, like as if that it's just such
like
a dumb
snorting it.
It's a dumb argument that's pointless to go into because these have been around for 2 decades. Anyways, it continues. Because Louisiana already bans most abortions and because the two drugs are also prescribed for other uses, both can be used during miscarriages, and misoprostol is often used to prevent ulcers and help during childbirth, hundreds of doctors in the state strenuously oppose the legislation.
Well, how do they know?
Doctors and other medical professionals warned lawmakers that the bill would send the false message that the drugs are dangerous and that it could cause delays in treatment for patients with medical needs not related to abortion.
Yeah, that's another thing, like with just like every aspect of abortion that gets banned is also something that has other legitimate uses for people who actually are carrying children to term and don't want to die in childbirth or face like terrible complications.
Are carrying children and then have a miscarriage. There was a thread that went viral this week. A pretty well-known guy. I don't want to. It's a very personal situation, but his wife had a miscarriage and they live in Texas, and that was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And resulted in his wife. He posted this, but his wife like and him breaking down in tears when she said, "Get this dead baby out of me," because it is fucking dead.
Yeah. No, it's horrible. It like I said, for people who actually want to be parents, every new step in banning abortion makes it harder for them. Unless the entire pregnancy goes completely according to plan, but that's like almost never the case. And in a lot of cases, things can go really, really wrong. And like, yeah, if you have a miscarriage or something like that, it's like in the past, like what they would do to treat that would be technically an abortion. Now they can't do that. And doctors are fucking terrified of even like addressing it because it's like, I don't
then
want to
they
fucking
can lose their
prison.
fucking life. Now it also makes it harder for patients to get these pills in general, even with doctor approval, because they are treated differently by medical groups and pharmacies when they have this classification. And doctors have to jump through extra hoops to get them in patients' hands in time for them to be effective. And that's another thing. This is a very I need this now kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's just increasingly frustrating, and there's no shortage of stories that you can see from just recent times alone where people who aren't getting what Christians would consider to be a classic abortion.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking horror story.
One of the few, actually the only Joe Biden 2024 ad that I thought was like, that was really good. They should do more of that. Was just like literally people explaining situations like that happening to them. It would be cool if he would be like, and this is what I'm gonna do about that. But I mean, still effective.
Sure.
At putting eyes on a situation that a lot of people seem to have their blinders on for. Anyway, let's end the episode with some absurdity to lighten the mood up a bit. Now, first up, the Glizzy King and competitive eating champion Takeru Kobayashi has announced his retirement. Or as one person online put it, he's hanging up that throat. Obviously, it's been quite a battle over the years between Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut, but those years have taken their toll. And according to Kobayashi, he is simply no longer hungry. Here's New York outlet NBC4 with more. Takeru Kobayashi, the six-time Nathan's hot dog eating contest champion, announced he is retiring from competitive eating over concerns of the damage he is doing to his body, he announced in a new film. In Hack Your Health, The Secrets of Your Gut on Netflix, Kobayashi expressed concern about the damage his career had on his health, and in particular his brain and his gut. Ever since I started this career, I've wondered what damage I've done to my body, he said. I want to know how it is damaging my brain and my nervous system. Kobayashi said he thinks he's eaten 10,000 hot dogs during his career.
I feel like he's probably eaten more, but that number is that, like, it's that 10,000 hours.
That's how you become an expert.
Yeah.
You got to eat 10,000.
I've had at least 10,000 hot dogs.
He's truly a master.
Outlet Indy 100 adds that Kobayashi's wife explained he, quote, once went 3 full days without eating because he didn't feel hungry. According to brain scans, the sight of food activates parts of his brain, such as those related to nausea and satiety, as his body feels as though it is in competitive eating mode. That sucks.
Wow.
Imagine seeing a beautiful Chinese meal, a beautiful succulent Chinese meal.
And you just can't even look at it.
Yeah, much like the policeman in Australia, your brain is pulling you away from that succulent Chinese meal.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Neuropsychologist Annie Gupta told him, your brain still thinks you're in competition, in a state of eating highly processed foods. Since he no longer feels hunger, his words, he's decided to hang up the throat until his brain-gut connection is finally fixed. And then it's like, well, you want to screw it up again?
Yeah.
No, stay retired. So, so long, thanks for all the entertainment. I mean, truly,
a champion.
What a time to be alive, to experience the peak of competitive eating. Because now it's just going to be, all these studies are saying you can't eat 10,000 hot dogs.
Parents aren't going to put their kids in minor league competitive eating, pee-wee competitive eating, because they're worried about the health effects of it.
The first and last scholarship for competitive eating.
Yeah.
Down at the local college.
End of an era, really.
Yeah, I mean, but luckily, all of us,
we got to see it.
We got to see the peak. I mean, it's like watching football before helmets.
Yeah, back when men were men.
Yeah. Wow, someone could die today. And that's why I'm here.
Back when there was actual stakes to any of this.
Delicious. Medium rare steaks.
That's right.
Which also you can't eat anymore because they're bad for you.
What? Says who?
I don't know, doctors, what do they know?
Capture zone is moving.
Anyway, finally today, what year is it? Belle Delphine is back in the news because she apparently lost $90,000 packing and shipping all of that gamer girl bathwater to her depraved fans a few years back. Remember that? Don't worry too much though. She got her $90,000 back finally because it was apparently just being held hostage by PayPal. Despite having the money sitting in purgatory, she still fulfilled all of those orders of her bathwater because that's what professionals do.
Yeah. She didn't sit around and wait for this issue to be resolved. No, she got that product in the customer's hands.
That's right. The customer's always right.
Say what you want about Belle Delphine, but when it comes to business, she gets it done.
A real professional.
Yeah.
Anyway, this week she was rewarded with all of that money that she was owed by PayPal during the original promotion, which was what, like 5 years ago?
It was a long time ago. I base all of my timeline on where we were filming at the time, and I think we were still at Machinima back then.
So yeah, $90,000 worth of bathwater. We're in the wrong fucking business, I guess.
That's right, yeah.
Anyway, with more on this, here's Kotaku.
Cosplayer and OnlyFans creator Belle Delphine recently revealed that she earned no money from her 2019 viral gamer girl bathwater.
Feels like longer than that.
She earned no money from her 2019 viral gamer girl bathwater stunt because PayPal was charging her weird fees and keeping funds for itself. Almost 5 years later, Business Insider reports that the internet celebrity's biggest L has finally turned into a W, as PayPal has decided to refund her the money that she'd earned after getting called out online. Since it's been a couple of years now, I can finally share the biggest L I've ever taken, Delphine tweeted on May 6th. Not only did I not earn any money selling my bathwater, I in fact lost money doing it. PayPal, without any warning, closed my PayPal account and took the $90,000 that I earned from selling my bathwater. She continued, there was nothing I could do. I tried phoning them up and they just said, sorry, nothing we can do. I knew it would be a better news story to say that I made so much money from selling my bathwater, so I just kept this secret. Ultimately, I'm still glad I did it since it was a really funny time on the internet when it happened. And I still did mail out all the bathwater people bought from me, which I did all by myself. So fuck PayPal, I guess. And look, that sucks that she had to bully them into giving her the money that she was owed.
Yeah. They've done this to a few other people, too.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. OnlyFans not that easy, too. A lot of the big credit card companies, apparently that was their whole thing with when they wanted to make it family-friendly. They're like, yeah, because nobody's processing our payments anymore.
Yeah.
So we're gonna change the one thing that made our program and website successful. And that didn't work out.
Yeah, they're back to doing it.
Anyways, good for her, I guess. She did have that weird string where she was doing kind of like lowly content, which was...
I couldn't even tell you what she looks like. I'm just aware of the bathwater, gamer girl bathwater thing. I know nothing more about this person.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of stopped after that because I was like...
What did she get famous for in the first place?
Gaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy your bathwater, you freaks.
Well, you say that, yet right over there, sitting there, it says, to Elliot from Amaranth is a bottled fart that you personally requested.
Allies on the zone.
Did she sell farts?
She did. I think that was Amaranth.
You are all a bunch of degenerates.
Well, this is the tale as old as time. You had the Japanese guys buying panties out of vending machines.
That's different.
I guess so. Anyways, cool. That's the end of the video. If you didn't think that was weird enough, we're going to have a whole video full of weird news for you coming up real soon on Weekly Weird News. But in the meantime, please check out our most recent videos. We got Tech News Day from, well, no, wait, hold on. Like the video. See, I almost forgot.
Yeah,
that's why we have to.
She's going to let you have sex with her. Why did he say it like that? Okay, hi everybody. Thanks for coming back if you've been here before, or hi, welcome if you're new. My name's Mickey, I'm a therapist. We talk about therapeutic things on this channel. And today we're talking about something that's a little bit scary. Because y'all seem to really enjoy the video that we made about terrible alpha male dating advice. And unfortunately for me, my algorithm is ruined. You're welcome, by the way, for really taking one for the team, because my algorithm keeps confronting me with terrible alpha male advice, a lot of which actually is sexual in nature. So I'm really grieved with the existence of this advice, and now it's your problem. So we're talking about terrible alpha male dating advice today, but like sexy sex edition. That's it. Let's get into the video. Oh, also, if you're new here, hi, thanks for coming. You should subscribe because we do fun stuff. Same deal as before. I'm going to try to censor these to the best of my ability. I'm not interested in leveraging my audience or my platform. Please don't go try to find these people. We're creating a safe space here for us to talk about this bad advice. But don't go find these people, and I am going to censor them to whatever degree I'm able to. But this video is about how to lead correctly. So.
Bend over, play with your... Get on your knees, come over here, do this, do that, get in that position, get in this position, spread your arm cheeks, tell me your daddy's good little girl. Whatever it is, these are all great examples, by the way, of just leading her and teasing her. Like I said, there's two things. Takes your focus away from you and put your focus onto her, and it taps into that masculine primal energy, that leading dominant energy. That's where you want to be, especially if you're feeling nervous or anxious beforehand. It's going to make you feel more confident, you're going to feel more in charge, ready to play, and she's going to enjoy it.
Hello? Okay. There's so many things that are wrong with this. First of all, what happened to hello? Or like, hi, how are you? Just for us to start the video this way is off-putting. On top of that, I want to address the thing that he said at the end there, which in my opinion is the most egregious. The if you're nervous, this is like a good way to circumvent being nervous. Ooh, no. You'll notice as we move through this advice, a lot of this advice is steeped in this, like, I mean, it's misogyny, obviously, but there's also an energy of like, this is a way for you to put on a show and like pretend to be something that you're not in order to combat essentially an insecurity, right? Like this advice especially is aimed at folks who feel insecure, who feel uncomfortable, who feel a lack of experience, and that therefore that must mean something about them, right? Either being like undesirable or being like not good in bed or whatever. And so a lot of this advice is aimed advice is aimed at these people who are in actually kind of like a vulnerable place, and teaches these people that the way to deal with insecurity, nervousness, fear, shame, or like self-judgment is to become violent, essentially, is to be aggressive, right? This is such a problematic fucking attitude to perpetuate, and especially again amongst vulnerable people. I do really want to address that, like, it's normal, right? It's human. It's very understandable to have some level of like nerves or anxiety about having sex generally, but especially sex with a new partner. And I do think it's also helpful to acknowledge that, like, especially in a heteronormative, like heterosexual context, there is actually a lot of pressure that gets heaped upon folks with penises and AMAB people generally, really, especially in this very heteronormative lens where we conceptualize sex to be the act of penetration, right? And that there are certain ways that that's supposed to look. It's very normal for folks like that to feel that sense of nervousness, right? But I want to encourage people, rather than taking dog shit advice like this, that again is rooted in misogyny and also like inherently of violence, right? Like we're teaching people that if you're nervous, just get violent and therefore you won't be nervous. Like don't do that. Instead of doing that, I really want to encourage people to lead with like an authenticity and like genuineness, that like it's okay to be nervous, right? This is why my favorite advice about sex and intimacy generally, that I think we should really just be like destigmatizing, is that it's normal and okay for people to just like acknowledge that sex is sometimes like silly and like awkward, right? Especially the first time that you're intimate with someone. There's gonna be like some level of fumbling because you don't really know how your bodies fit together yet. You don't know what somebody's used to yet. And so sometimes there's just like a lot of elbows, like it's very normal. And I personally like am just a fan of destigmatizing this and normalizing like that being like a silly little moment that we just like either giggle or have like a little like knowing smile with one another. And that's okay, right? Sex is not meant to be a performance. It's not meant to be something that mirrors what we see in romance books or novels or erotica or porn. It's meant to be a vehicle for folks to connect with one another, right? Ultimately, it's just one of many ways that we can develop intimacy and connection in a relationship, even if that's for a short time, right? Even if that's just for one night. This shared connection from human to human serves the purpose of creating a feeling of mutual safety, first of all, which if violence or roughness is part of your sexual context, we absolutely need to have a conversation about consent and boundaries, and that everybody's on the same page with wanting to incorporate that in a very specific way within these very specific bounds. Besides the point that I'm making is that this is meant to be a vehicle for mutual connection, not a way that folks can, first of all, circumvent their self-esteem issues, because also there's like a whole world of like work and therapy and self-help and all of this stuff that can help to deal with that. But also, again, that sex is meant to be a thing that's like a connecting thing, not a thing that serves the purpose of uplifting our fantasies about violence against women, first of all, but also about what we think sex ought to be rather than what sex is actually, That's a really good point, actually. I don't know if you heard Aaron in the background, but he said he loves that, like, this is always like men complain about having to feel the need to perform during sex, but then also simultaneously uplift advice like this, right? That like this is very much a way that misogyny and the patriarchy hurts everybody, and also the people who have the power in this situation to unseat and subvert that expectation are just doing the opposite, and like that's nonsensical and not fair, right? It's bad for everybody, particularly the people who are on the receiving end of the misogyny. But again, if this is something that bothers you, even if you are an AMAB person, it's helpful to unlearn this. I mean, really, that's mostly cis men, but like it's helpful to unlearn this and then also seek to engage in like opposite action so that we can, again, like subvert this expectation. Speaking of unlearning our societal expectations around sex, you might be surprised to know, like I was, that May is actually International Masturbation Month. So I am so excited to talk to you guys about Beducated this month. For those of you who don't know, we have sponsored with Beducated before, but Beducated is an online platform that is dedicated to all things sex and relationship learning. They have over 100 courses with the industry top experts to teach you actually reliable information about sex and intimacy and relationships, and they cover topics all the way from self-pleasure all the way up to kink and non-monogamy and like everything in between. When I tell you that there is something on the platform for everybody, I'm being so serious, especially as a person who like regularly uses the platform. I'm so encouraged to find that there is constantly new stuff on the platform. Speaking of which, there is a new course that I have been looking through, which is called Guided Masturbation. It actually went up on the 16th of this month, and it is so good, especially for those of us who grew up in a very repressive environment that taught us backwards things about our bodies and about masturbation. Especially, it's just been really healing for me to look through a course that destigmatizes things and helps to make the unspoken spoken. And I think that y'all will really enjoy enjoy the resource too. So go click that link in the description because Beducated is running a special 50% off of the yearly pass for the entire month of Masturbation May, which we love. Beducated has a 24-hour free trial so you can test the waters and see how you like it. And they also have a 14-day money-back guarantee. So genuinely, there's no risk involved. And it truly is such a cool platform that I think y'all will really love. So go click that link, use code Mickey Atkins at checkout to get 50% off of the yearly pass. Show Beducated some love for showing me some love, and show yourself some love for Masturbation May. Thank you again to Beducated for sponsoring this week's video. Let's go ahead and hop back in. This says 4 dating tips that every man must know.
These are 4 dating tips every man must know. Let's go. 1, women will say one thing, but their actions will say something else. Women operate backwards, right? They like what they don't like, and they don't like what they like. A female will tell you, oh, I want to see you every day, I want to be up under your skin. But the moment you give her all your time and attention, she's losing the tracks for you, bro. And then 3 months down the line, oh, I need a break, I can't do this. But you're doing everything she wanted, right? Come on, bro. They don't like fucking nice guys. They all say, oh, I want good morning texts, I want flowers sent to me. They don't like this shit. They like the aesthetic of it, bro. So they can screenshot it and post it on Twitter or Instagram to impress their fucking friends. Like, bro, any girl I deal with or yeah with, I don't do none of this shit, bro. And I always ask them, why me out of all the guys in your phone? Oh, I don't know, you're different. I don't compliment them. I don't see them every day. I don't text them all day. But apparently this works to get girls, you know what I'm saying? But I'm the dude smashing behind the scenes while you doing all this shit. She leave me on red and delivery.
Really quick, before we get to the next 2 tips, I just want to be super clear that this attitude that like women don't like nice guys and that, you know, you should neg people to get them to like you, this is bad advice. Like, besides the fact that this is like not actually very effective fucking advice, especially at developing healthy relationships, right? I can't speak to the success rate personally for things like negging and treating people like shit because it's not something that I personally incorporate into my fucking dating life. So I don't necessarily have anecdotal data for you about that specifically, but I can very much vouch for the fact as a clinician that even if this does work, right, this is not going to lend itself to a healthy relationship. This is not the way that we pave a foundation for a relationship where we feel mutual respect and connection and safety and stability. Ideally, when we're talking about a long-term healthy relationship where we both respect one another, we feel safe with one another, we love one another, this is not the way. I also want to be clear too that this attitude of like, oh, people tell me that I'm different and that it, you know, it really works for me, not complimenting people, not treating people well. Again, even if this does work, all you're doing is actually just exploiting somebody's trauma and attachment wounds, and that's not healthy, first of all. But also, this isn't a flex, right? Like, you're just admitting on camera to abusing people and to fingering people's open emotional wounds for your own personal gain, which is not cute, right? Like, this isn't cute. This isn't a flex. That doesn't make you cool or interesting or better or alpha. All this is you admitting to being a fucking asshole on camera. Like, this is so fucking not okay. And like, also too, again, we talked about this in the last video, so much of this is like saying the quiet part out loud about how a lot of these men just fucking hate women, right? They hate women, they hate femininity, they are genuinely just repulsed by the idea of people who aren't masculine, and a lot of this oftentimes is rooted in a deep insecurity and self-loathing, which I can have like empathy and compassion for on a human-to-human level, but that doesn't excuse behavior like this, right? That doesn't excuse getting on the internet and uplifting and encouraging others to abuse people, to manipulate people, to treat people poorly, and especially to exploit their deepest, darkest wounds for your own personal gain. It's fucking gross, it's disgusting, and it's also not gonna lead to the place that you think it's gonna lead.
So, a female cannot love you, bro. She loves how you make her feel in the moment. Y'all men really believe in love. There's 2 types of men in life. Men that believe in love and men that understand females. Men like...
This is like so obviously fucking projection. Like, you struggle to feel a genuine care and compassion for the people that you're dating, so you assume that other people struggle to feel that. That's not true. That's not true at all.
For me to understand females, bro, we take things day by day with them, bro. We don't think too far ahead. We don't think about marriage. That's all Disney fairy tale bullshit. But if you believe in love, you're gonna keep getting a little heartbroken or divorced. 2, always put your purpose first. When you chase your purpose, she's gonna chase you. But if you put her first, she's gonna put you second and leave your ass. You know what I'm saying? Treat a female like a celebrity.
It's penetration, right? Especially the first time that you're intimate with someone, there's gonna be like some level of fumbling because you don't really know how your bodies fit together yet. You don't know what somebody's used to yet. And so sometimes there's just like a lot of elbows, you know, like it's very normal. And I personally like am just a fan of destigmatizing this and normalizing like that being like a silly little moment that we just like either giggle or have like a little like knowing smile with one another. and that's okay, right? Sex is not meant to be a performance. It's not meant to be something that mirrors what we see in romance books or novels or erotica or porn. It's meant to be a vehicle for folks to connect with one another, right? Ultimately, it's just one of many ways that we can develop intimacy and connection in a relationship, even if that's for a short time, right? Even if that's just for one night. This shared connection from human to human serves the purpose of creating a feeling of mutual safety, first of all, which if violence or roughness is part of your sexual context, we absolutely need to have a conversation about consent and boundaries, and that everybody's on the same page with wanting to incorporate that in a very specific way within these very specific bounds. Besides the point that I'm making is that this is meant to be a vehicle for mutual connection, not a way that folks can, first of all, circumvent their self-esteem issues, because also there's like a whole world of like work and therapy and self-help and all of this stuff that can help to deal with that. But also, again, that sex is meant to be a thing that's like a connecting thing, not a thing that serves the purpose of uplifting our fantasies about violence against women, first of all, but also about what we think sex ought to be rather than what sex is actually, you know? That's a really good point, actually. I don't know if you heard Aaron in the background, but he said he loves that, like, this is always like men complain about having to feel the need to perform during sex, but then also simultaneously uplift advice like this, right? That like this is very much a way that misogyny and the patriarchy hurts everybody, and also the people who have the power in this situation to unseat and subvert that expectation are just doing the opposite, and like that's nonsensical and not fair, right? It's bad for everybody, particularly the people who are on the receiving end of the misogyny. But again, if this is something that bothers you, even if you are an AMAB person, it's helpful to unlearn this. I mean, really, that's mostly cis men, but like it's helpful to unlearn this and then also seek to engage in like opposite action so that we can, again, like subvert this expectation. Speaking of unlearning our societal expectations around sex, you might be surprised to know, like I was, that May is actually International Masturbation Month. So I am so excited to talk to you guys about Beducated this month. For those of you who don't know, we have sponsored with Beducated before, but Beducated is an online platform that is dedicated to all things sex and relationship learning. They have over 100 courses with the industry top experts to teach you actually reliable information about sex and intimacy and relationships, and they cover topics all the way from self-pleasure all the way up to kink and non-monogamy and like everything in between. When I tell you that there is something on the platform for everybody, I'm being so serious, especially as a person who like regularly uses the platform. I'm so encouraged to find that there is constantly new stuff on the platform. Speaking of which, there is a new course that I have been looking through, which is called Guided Masturbation. It actually went up on the 16th of this month, and it is so good, especially for those of us who grew up in a very repressive environment that taught us backwards things about our bodies and about masturbation. Especially, it's just been really healing for me to look through a course that destigmatizes things and helps to make the unspoken spoken, and I think that y'all will really enjoy the resource too. So go click that link in the description, because Beducated is running a special 50% off of the yearly pass for the entire month of Masturbation May, which we love. Beducated has a 24-hour free trial, so you can test the waters and see how you like it, and they also have a 14-day money-back guarantee, so genuinely there's no risk involved, and it truly is such a cool platform that I think y'all will really love. So go click that link, use code Mickey Atkins at checkout to get 50% off of the yearly pass. Show Beducated some love for showing me some love, and show yourself some love for Masturbation May. Thank you again to Beducated for sponsoring this week's video. Let's go ahead and hop back in. This says 4 dating tips that every man must know.
These are 4 dating tips every man must know. Let's go. 1, a woman will say one thing, but their actions will say something else. Women operate backwards, right? They like what they don't like, and they don't like what they like. A female will tell you, oh, I want to see you every day. I want to be up under your skin. But the moment you give her all your time and attention, she's losing the tracks for you, bro. And then 3 months down the line, oh, I need a break. I can't do this. But you're doing everything she wanted, right? Come on, bro. They don't like fucking nice guys. They all say, oh, I want good morning texts. I want flowers sent to me. They don't like this shit. They like the aesthetic of it, bro. So they can screenshot it and post it on Twitter or Instagram to impress their fucking friends. Like, bro, any girl I deal with or yeah with, I don't do none of this shit, bro. And I always ask them, why me out of all the guys in your phone? Oh, I don't know, you're different. I don't compliment them. I don't see them every day. I don't text them all day. But apparently this works to get girls, you know what I'm saying? But I'm the dude smashing behind the scenes while you doing all this shit and she leave me on red and delivered.
Really quick, before we get to the next 2 tips, I just want to be super clear that this attitude that like women don't like nice guys and that, you know, you should neg people to get them to like you, this is bad advice. Like, besides the fact that this is like not actually very effective fucking advice, especially at developing healthy relationships, right? I can't speak to the success rate personally for things like negging and treating people like shit, because it's not something that I personally incorporate into my fucking dating life. So I don't necessarily have anecdotal data for you about that specifically, but I can very much vouch for the fact as a clinician that even if this does work, right, this is not going to lend itself to a healthy relationship. This is not the way that we pave a foundation for a relationship where we feel mutual respect and connection and safety and stability. Ideally, when we're talking about a long-term healthy relationship where we both respect one another, we feel safe with one another, we love one another, this is not the way. I also want to be clear too that this attitude of like, oh, people tell me that I'm different and that it really works for me, not complimenting people, not treating people well. Again, even if this does work, all you're doing is actually just exploiting somebody's trauma and attachment wounds, and that's not healthy, first of all. But also, this isn't a flex, right? Like, you're just admitting on camera to abusing people and to fingering people's open emotional wounds for your own personal gain, which is not cute, right? Like, this isn't cute. This isn't a flex. That doesn't make you cool or interesting or better or alpha. All this is you admitting to being a fucking asshole on camera. Like, this is so fucking not okay. And like, also too, again, we talked about this in the last video, so much of this is like saying the quiet part out loud about how a lot of these men just fucking hate women, right? They hate women, they hate femininity, they are genuinely just repulsed by the idea of people who aren't masculine, and a lot of this oftentimes is rooted in a deep, deep, deep insecurity and self-loathing, which I can have like empathy and compassion for on a human to human level, but that doesn't excuse behavior like this, right? That doesn't excuse getting on the internet and uplifting and encouraging others to abuse people, to manipulate people, to treat people poorly, and especially to exploit their deepest, darkest wounds for your own personal gain. It's fucking gross, it's disgusting, and it's also not gonna lead to the place that you think it's gonna lead.
So a female cannot love you, bro. She loves how you make her feel in the moment. Y'all men really believe in love. There's two types of men in life. Men that believe in love and men that understand females. Men like
this is like so obviously fucking projection. Like, you struggle to feel a genuine care and compassion for the people that you're dating, so you assume that other people struggle to feel that. That's not true. That's not true at all.
Me to understand females, bro, we take things day by day with them, bro. We don't think too far ahead. We don't think about marriage. That's all Disney fairy tale bullshit, bro. If you believe in love, you're gonna keep getting your little heart broken or divorced. So, always put your purpose first. When you chase your purpose, she's gonna chase you. But if you put her first, she's gonna put you second and leave your ass. You know what I'm saying? Treat a female like a celebrity, and she's gonna treat you like a fucking fan. You always want your girlfriend chasing your validation, right? If your girl's not asking for more time and attention from you, that means you're giving her too much time and attention. Get out the house, go to the gym, work more hours, do something, bro. 3.
This is literally a masterclass about how to aggravate somebody's attachment wounds, which again, even if this does work, which to be clear, this is damaging and traumatic or like trauma-inducing behavior to be on the receiving end of, regardless of how like self-actualized or well-adjusted you are. But for folks who are able to spot manipulation, this is not going to lead to a long-term relationship at all, because they're going to excuse themselves before we get to this point. But also, again, even if this does work, all this person is admitting to doing is successfully manipulating and traumatizing people who are vulnerable, which is so not a flex. Like, this is...
Stop being so available. Every time she calls, you don't got to answer. Every time she texts, you don't gotta reply so fast. Reply an hour later if you're fucking busy, bro.
Oh my God.
Give her time to think about you. Like, damn, what is he doing? Give her that anxiety. Is he cheating on me? Is he talking to other girls? Why is he simping over me? It's gonna drive her crazy, bro. Females hate fucking simps with a passion.
I know that I'm stopping this video every 5 seconds, but I also just want to be clear. First of all, anybody who uses the word females, red flag for me. Like, when we talk about spotting people who are manipulators or who have problematic patterns in relationships, this type of language is like #1 for me, especially because it's dehumanizing, right? Like, by the very nature of the fact that we're referring to people with a term that's often used to describe animals, we are literally dehumanizing people. On top of that, this is not true, right? Like, I just want to be super clear that, like, do some people struggle with attachment wounds and things like that? Yes, obviously. Some people are going to have a difficulty with, like, receiving, right? I've talked about this at length on the channel, that, like, I am not good at receiving, like, gifts and, like, praise, like, compliments especially. I struggle with that. It's, like, a thing for me. But that doesn't mean that I enjoy being treated like shit, right? People who struggle with feelings of like a lack of self-worth or things like that don't enjoy being treated like shit. They may find themselves in this pattern cyclically, oftentimes because, like, in childhood your primary caregivers were not stable or consistent folks, and so that caused you to feel this, like, sense of lack in your self-worth, right? But again, no one fucking enjoys being traumatized, and I just want to be super clear that this advice of, like, oh, women love this, like, women will continue to come back to you because they love being treated like shit, is not fucking true. No one fucking enjoys being traumatized. And especially if you're a person who's found yourself on the receiving end of behavior like this in past relationships because you were traumatized, please know that this is not a statement about you, right? This is not you being a terrible person. No one participates in their own traumatization. And especially like language like this is very victim blamey. And like, I don't fuck with it.
4, when you're in the talk stage with a girl, never cut off all your options for one girl. You're not going to help but talk to multiple girls. There's no rule in the Bible or the Quran that says, oh, if you talk to other girls, you're going to help. Never put all of your eggs in one basket. Follow me for more advice. You might never see me again.
No, don't follow this person for any more advice. Don't take any of this fucking advice. Again, I also want to point out that so much of this is a very blatant projection of like, I feel insecure, I feel unstable, I feel unlovable in relationships. And so instead of doing the vulnerable and scary thing and fully committing to a person, being honest about my feelings for this person, choosing to put all of my cards on the table face up and tell somebody, I love you, I really care about you, I want to invest in this relationship, which means then that you're vulnerable to being rejected and being left. This person is consistently putting themselves in the position to leave others rather than being the one who is in the position to be left, which on its face seems like a good strategy, I guess, if you're afraid of being rejected. But the problem with this is that it robs you of real connection and vulnerability, right? These moments where we're truly vulnerable with someone, where we're really being open and honest, these are the moments that real love and connection and intimacy are formed because there's a real trust in that, right? I talk to my clients all the time about how vulnerability is essentially showing somebody your guts, right? Like you're literally putting your guts on the table for somebody to view. And when they choose to accept you in that moment, there's such a great intimacy that happens there because it's not conditional. It's not based on the performance or the, what we think are like the lovable or acceptable parts of ourselves. Your partner is unconditionally accepting you, knowing that there are messy parts of you, that there are like dirty parts of you or broken parts of you, right? Like I don't love that language, but like you get the point that I'm making. And that is where true intimacy and connection and vulnerability and safety comes, because you know definitively, even after seeing your baggage or your trauma or your problematic traits or you on an irritable day or you after you shit your pants, your partner still loves you, your partner still cares about you, and your partner still wants to be with you, right? There is an unconditional acceptance that comes from that. And yes, it's risky, right? Sometimes that means we're going to get rejected and we're going to be treated like shit by people who don't deserve you, by the way. Fuck those people who treat you like shit. But that's part of developing a safe and healthy relationship, is being willing to go there and being willing to engage when it makes sense, obviously, when it's safe for us to do that. You get it. But choosing to keep yourself in this place where you're just never investing, you're never vulnerable, it robs you of that true intimacy and connection, and that's not enjoyable. You may tell yourself that you get off on the power dynamic of not being vulnerable with people and that them chasing you makes you feel good, and that's not true. That's not how human connection works. That's not how real fucking healthy intimate relationships actually function. Okay, let's talk about this video. The caption on this says, guaranteed 30-second squirt. I told you guys, my algorithm is tormenting me, and so now it's gonna torment you. You're welcome.
This is where the G-spot is. The clitoris is like back here somewhere. Up here is the G-spot. I'm inserting here with 2 hands and I'm putting pressure like this. She's laying here, her head's up here, thumbs down here, my hand's here, bang, and I'm pushing up like this. But I'm doing it a lot faster. It'll be something like this. That shouldn't take you more than like 20, 30 seconds. Women who have never squished before, you get this.
I fucking hate advice like this. First of all, because why is he doing it so much? As a person with a vagina, please never stick your hand in somebody and yank it around like you're trying to start a faulty vehicle. Like, this is a terrifying imagery. And just like, listen, I'm not saying that some people aren't into this. I'm sure some people probably are. But I do want to be super clear that, like, A, this advice is problematic because we're applying no nuance piece of advice just across a whole ass population of people based on their anatomy alone, which is crazy. Like, this is a wild ass assumption to make and not true. Also, like, this is not going to be true in every case, if not for most people, I would say. But besides that fact, this is also assigning an intention to an activity that's based on you, right? This is not about pleasure. This is not about enjoyment. This is about you getting to tell your buddies at work that you made your girlfriend squirt, which this is why it's like an epidemic of people with vulvas faking orgasms, because there is so much pressure that gets placed on people that if you're not orgasming, it means that your partner's not good in bed, which is not helpful. Besides the fact that orgasm shouldn't be the goal of sex explicitly every time for every person, it's also an unfair expectation to put on a person, because ultimately what you're communicating is that I will only feel satisfied if I have these external markers from you. And so therefore your pleasure is a way for me to feel good about myself and for me to uplift my own ego. That's not about your partner then. So like, first of all, that's not helpful. That's a lot of pressure, and that might be counterintuitive in somebody actually being able to orgasm. But on top of that, you're treating your partner like a vending machine. Their orgasm is a way for you to uplift your ego, which fucking sucks. Okay, I also want to talk about the actual squirting advice in this video, because I want to be clear that squirting is a thing that some people find enjoyable, some people will not find enjoyable, some people will be able to do, some people will not be able to do. There's actually really useful advice about how to do that, or what anatomy structures we need to pay attention to in order to achieve that goal if it's something that matters to you. But I want to be super clear that, first of all, this is not a mandatory thing, right? Like, this is expectation that like you're especially kinky in bed if you want to squirt, or that you do squirt. Like, unhelpful. Also very much a byproduct of the myths that porn perpetuates about folks with vaginas. Neither here nor there. But I also want to be clear that the way that folks will achieve this particular outcome in regards to sex is vastly different, depending on somebody's personal likes and preferences, depending on somebody's particular anatomy, right? Also, I just want to talk about the G-spot really quickly. There's a whole world of useful education, by the way, about squirting and G-spots and like different types of orgasms on Beducated. I know I talk about it a lot. The courses are genuinely really useful. There's a whole ass course about how to squirt if that's something that you're interested in, with reliable information from an expert, by the way. So link in description, go check it out. Regardless, I want to talk about the G-spot because I think this is a thing that's like criminally under-discussed personally. What we as a community, like a collective, refer to as the G-spot colloquially is actually just part of the clitoris, right? We didn't actually really officially study or discover factual information about the clitoris until like way fucking later than the rest of our research about sex and orgasm, especially as it relates to AMAB anatomy. And so I want to be super clear that the clitoris, as we typically conceptualize it in terms of its external presentation, is like literally 1% of its entire anatomy. I'll put a diagram on the screen right now of what the actual clitoris is, but a lot of what folks refer to is as the G-spot is actually just part of your clitoris that can be stimulated by touching the vaginal wall from the inside, and that you're stimulating like flange. I'll put a diagram on the screen so you know what I'm talking about. But this, like stimulating this particular piece of your anatomy is so very much dependent on like a bunch of different factors. For those of you who don't know, vaginas are inherently elastic things. Obviously, some people use them to push humans out of there, so it's good that they're elastic. But depending on how aroused you are, how much vaginal lubrication there is, what part of your cycle that you're currently in, if you're menstruating at all of these things will impact like the thickness of your vaginal wall, the placement of your cervix, for example, and how much access we have to parts of the vaginal wall that you can reach other parts of the clitoris. Like, vaginas are not a thing that are static, is the point that I'm making. There's lots of anatomy that changes and moves and will shift based on like many factors. And so this blanket advice of just like stick your fingers in there and wave your hand around and you'll make this person squirt in 25 to 30 seconds or less is so not helpful. It's not true. And again, problematic goal to try to achieve from the outset, from the perspective that this person is orienting it. And also this idea that like you can just like magically push a button that will make somebody come in 30 seconds is not true, right? Like, the truth about orgasm, especially through clitoral stimulation, is that it's going to take time, varying amounts of time depending on the circumstances, your anatomy, what you're into, all of the things, right? And that's okay, right? Like, there is also a lot of pressure that folks with vaginas get put under to come faster because it's too complicated, you're taking too long, and my hand is tired, my mouth is tired. I don't care. Fuck that. Fuck all of that expectation. Take as long as you fucking need to. Like, the truth, especially about like heteronormative sex, is that it's structured very much around this idea that when the partner with a penis ejaculates, that we're done, right? Ew, fuck that. That's not helpful. That's not useful. There's a shitty fucking expectation. And again, it heaps a lot of pressure on folks who have vaginas to like come faster. And that's not fair, right? You are entitled to however much time or stimulation or like set of circumstances that you need to feel like the pleasure that you're looking for. Again, not everybody needs to orgasm every time, but you get what I'm saying. Moving on. Okay, this person actually has a bunch of terrible advice. So let's watch this video also.
Most of them have been spanked. Women are very similar. For the most part, most women tend to respond to the exact same things done to them physically. All women tend to be very, very similar in this regard. There's patterns you start to recognize once you've been with a certain number of them.
Ew. Fucking you. Remember when I told you that this person has a bunch of fucking terrible advice? This whole account is filled with fucking awful ass fucking advice. From the top, let's be clear that this idea that you can just bank on people being similar because they have the same anatomy, not helpful, right? Even people who have very similar anatomy might need very different things. Even, in fact, the very same person might need incredibly different things from one sexual encounter to another because they're people. Because people need different things, and because sex is an elastic and ever-changing thing. It's not a math equation. It's not a science experiment. People and their sensuality, their sexuality, their sense of intimacy is all going to vary and change and fluctuate throughout your lifespan, but just from day to day, right? From sexual encounter to sexual encounter, people want and need different things. We talked about this in the Q&A video, but in my opinion, it is so much more useful to be a communicative partner, a partner who's curious about your partner or partners, than it is to be somebody with lots and lots of sexual experience. In some ways, having lots and lots of sexual experience can actually be kind of a bad thing, because this attitude, not whatever, you get what I'm saying, can actually be kind of a hindrance to people in the sense that, like, oh, I've had sex with lots of people and so therefore I know everything that there is to know about sex. And like, that's not true. Each individual time that you have sex with a partner, or a new partner especially, there are going to be new things that come up, and it's ideally, generally speaking, going to be a better practice to be curious and to be communicative about what your partner needs specifically in this moment to find pleasure or orgasm or whatever it is that we're striving for in this moment, right? Connection, feeling seen, feeling loved, feeling valued, whatever, right? It's going to serve your purpose so much more effectively to just be honest about, first of all, what our own wants and needs are, right? But also to be clear that, like, hey, maybe I'm not sure, right? Or like, especially in the new part of a relationship where we're starting to understand each other, we're trying to learn about each other sexually, ask the question, right? Does this feel nice? Do you like this? What are you into, right? Especially, like, ideally before we get into the bedroom, having a conversation about people's likes and dislikes, past positive or negative experiences sexually. All of this is going to add up to the picture of you being a better partner, rather than just taking blanket advice from strangers on the internet, especially because this is not true. The idea that, like, all women like having their hair pulled, all women like being spanked. Like, just, it's reductive, it's gross, and it's also so dangerous. Again, this is literally just an excuse to perpetuate violence against women and to perpetuate misogyny under the guise of sex advice, because ultimately what this is framing the idea that all women like being brutalized, right? Which is fucking not true, but also fucking disgusting. Like, this is terrifying that this person is literally out here on the internet talking about how it's okay to be violent, and especially to, like, play out your fantasies about brutalizing women with or without their consent, because some dude on the internet told you that all people like being treated this way, which again is not fucking true, like, regardless of what people are into, but especially because we're framing it from this perspective that, like, all people like it and so therefore you don't need to ask, right? Ew. I don't think it's a surprise to anybody on this channel that consent is paramount when we talk about any amount of physical, intimate, or sexual contact, but especially in this regard, people need to have a very clear and conscientious conversation about what we're into if we're starting to veer into things like kink, or especially things like impact play and other, like, degradation-based things. It's not that that's not allowed or that that's inherently bad. There's a whole world of kink that can be explored in a consensual manner that can be really pleasurable and fun for lots of different types of people. But if we're not having a conversation clearly outside of the bedroom before we've engaged in any kind of physical contact about our boundaries, about our wants, about our needs, about our limits around these things, fucking terrible sign. Get out of there. Please, please, God, know that you are never being a bore. You're never being a wet blanket or a baby or being choosy or being hard to please. If somebody is trying to pressure you into something or just starts doing something without your consent, please know that you are always, always, always allowed to pull the ripcord at any time, because people who do shit like this are fucking terrifying and dangerous, and also fuck their opinion. Nobody needs to know or care what they think about you drawing a hard line in the sand and removing yourself from a situation that's unsafe for you, because ultimately what we're talking about is somebody assaulting you because they want to play out their misogynistic and brutal fantasies about what they would like to victimize women. Just ew. Okay, I have one more video to share with you. Let's talk about this.
So I'm going to tell you how to use a woman's own hypergamous nature against them. Realize that a woman will give you a chance if she sees financial potential in you, but you have to sell it in the right way. And you do that by showing her that you have a plan and are determined to accomplish whatever financial goal you have. And the key thing is that you have to convince her that you are close to getting there, because she is not going to date you if she's going to have to wait over 15 years. You always tell her that your side business or whatever you got going on is moving along in the right direction and that you're expecting big things soon. She'll swallow that up and see your financial potential. And because she hopes to be a part of your future, she's going to let you have sex with her. And from there, you can keep...
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is actually terrible and scary advice. I do want to be clear. But also, the way that he phrases this sounds like a joke. It sounds like a meme. Please tell me that this is a joke, because it sounds like an SNL skit. Like, this can't be real. Because she sees your financial future. She's gonna let you have sex with her. Why did he say it like that? I think it goes without saying that this is just cuckoo bananas. Crazy town. We are off the deep end with this, especially because essentially what we're talking about is like cosplaying the billionaire mentality. So that people will see your financial potential. Also, I'd like to address the fact that this is predicated upon the false belief that women survey men's financial potential as a primary feature of whether or not they want to have sex with someone, which is not true. This is like so incredibly, wholly, completely false that it's like kind of funny. For those of you who are curious or don't know, just to be clear about fact-based information here, folks will look for a variety of factors when making the decision about whether or not they want to be sexual or intimate or in a relationship with someone. But for a lot of AFAB folks or folks who are targeted by misogyny, the very first thing that they're going to look for is safety. Right? It's not necessarily about physical attractiveness. It's not necessarily about somebody's financial status or their social status or their upward mobility, right? It has a lot more to do with whether or not we feel safe and valued there, right? And so, like, people who demonstrate themselves to be misogynistic in nature, who, for example, reduce women in their entirety to a desire to be with a rich partner, probably not meeting that check mark.
Keep her around or move on to the next one. But do keep working on that financial goal or purpose, whatever it may be, while you're seeing that girl. And if it's taking too long and by that time she's getting a hint that you're probably not getting to that final...
Sorry, getting a what? Getting a what? Getting a hinge? I think you meant hunch. I also want to draw attention to the fact that this is so obviously dehumanizing people. After you have sex with her, you can keep her around or move on to the next one, but keep working on your financial goal. Huh? This has to be a joke. This has to be a joke.
Financial goal quick enough? By that time, you've already had sex with her, so you already got what you wanted.
Like, can we just be so clear? Like, it's rare for people to say explicitly that they don't give a shit about women other than as a whole to fuck. But honestly, sometimes it's kind of refreshing to have people just be clear and upfront about the fact that they don't value women, that they don't care about people, that they don't see value in relationship with anybody. Which also, I talked about this in the last video, it's wild to me that there are really people on this earth who don't understand how cool and magical it is to be in a relationship with an AFAB person. Like, hello? With women generally, really? Like, just... There's a whole world of wonder out there that these people are missing out on because they're just so obsessed. They're addicted to male validation. So much of the problematic advice that comes out of this niche is because men are more concerned with the validation of other men than they are with their own, like, connection and satisfaction. And especially in a time where people like this are bemoaning the male loneliness epidemic and making TikToks where they're talking about how, like, you know, some of you women are gonna have to settle because your expectations about, you know, men are so unrealistic. And like, No, because the other thing that is important to acknowledge here is that folks who are not cis-het men oftentimes have better success in creating very deep and rich and emotionally intimate relationships with people in their life, regardless of whether they're platonic or romantic. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Regardless of whether or not those relationships are platonic or romantic. And so it removes this necessity for romantic relationships, because from the cis-het male perspective, the idea is that you'll only have emotional connectedness with a woman because men refuse to do this with each other sometimes, which is obviously damaging and difficult and part of how the patriarchy hurts everybody. Obviously, this is a thing that we should unlearn. And men who uplift these misogynistic and violent ideals against women are the same people who rob themselves of connection with their friends and their family because they refuse to be vulnerable and to be emotionally intimate and like clear about their feelings. And so therefore they lean on women for this emotional connectedness and also for their sexual gratification, but in a way that dehumanizes them, in a way that reduces them to something less than a person, because they only conceptualize them as being good for these two things. Usually it's just the one thing, but for these two things. And so therefore I don't value you. And like, no wonder people don't want to fucking be in a relationship with you. If you're a person who struggles to find connection, if you're a cishet man, I don't anticipate that there's a lot of you watching this video, but whatever. If you're a cishet man who struggles to find connection with folks in relationships, you know, in this case, women, please know that you are so much better served by, first of all, focusing that energy inward, right? And surveying, like, how can I be a safer person? How can I be a healthy person? Not just for the purpose of being in relationship with others, but just for myself generally, because you deserve that. But working on yourself to be a safe person who is kind, who's emotionally expressive, who can communicate effectively, who's not afraid to be honest about your fears or your wants or your needs, and who also is committed to continually unlearning this patriarchal and misogynistic ideal about how women are only existing to meet your needs, is a way fucking better place to start than following any of this fucking shitty red pill alpha male advice that you're ever going to find on the internet. Again, I don't anticipate that anybody who's watching this video is, you know, necessarily needing that advice, but for what it's worth, generally speaking, especially with like wanting to be a better version of ourselves and wanting to find more emotionally enriching and satisfying relationships, the work that we need to do, first of all, is in being safe and healthy for ourselves, again, because we deserve it, and also for the folks we're in relationship with, and also, again, being committed to viewing and valuing the people that we are in relationship with, regardless of whether it's platonic or romantic or sexual in nature, as human beings, first of all, but also people with a whole world of rich and interesting and valuable experiences that we benefit just from witnessing, right? Just from bearing witness to and the privilege of being part of their experience and part of their community, just in being able to share company with those people. That is going to serve you so much better in regards to forming these, again, mutually enriching and connecting relationships than following shitty fucking advice on the internet. So, wow. Let me know if you guys want me to make another one of these videos. I truly am like just continually surprised by, first of all, how bad the advice is, but also how much of it there is. Like, all of these people were different people than last time, and it's all still so bad. So
it's hard being a solid female in this kind of world.
Compared to what? A liquid female?
Hey, Spuds, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. I don't know, but welcome me the way I am to Jamie. I was trying to...
Twice, go 3 times, last hold.
No, that's what I was going for, and I felt pressure to do it as fast as possible, faster than the last video we did together to impress you, because even though we are married, I still want your impressedness towards
Some
me.
people bring fluffy handcuffs to the bedroom.
I can do that too.
Jamie just talks really fast in the intro of his videos.
And today I'm joined by my lovely, beautiful, wonderful wife, Shaba.
Sold! No, you don't sell me.
I'm not selling you. I was complimenting you.
When is this video going up?
26th of May.
Ah, just in time for me to plug something else. We are doing Spin on the Tea with Jamie and Shaba as part of Jamie's US book launch for the teen LGBT.
Yes.
We're spilling all the dirty secrets, we're answering all your juicy questions, and we're so freaking excited to meet you, little spud. So, you know, if you happen to live in the States and you want to come say hi, then like, do it. I'm excited. You excited?
Yeah, I'm slightly freaked out by your giggle.
Oh, my giggle?
Yeah.
Is that a girl's giggle?
Oh, are you not like other girls, Shaba? That's the topic of the video, but if you do want to come see us on tour, a list of the cities that we are going to is down in the description box, alongside a wonderful link that will take you to all the tickets that you might want to buy.
And also, just so you know, because I know there's always going to be questions because we can't be everywhere
everywhere, all at once. The states we're going to are ones that you gorgeous buds have chosen. It's a top 7. So that's why they're chosen. We go everywhere if we could, I promise.
But yeah, hopefully see some of you there. And I was just about to say goodbye, but no, we're just getting started on the video. Today, Shaba.
Was a quick film.
It was. We are looking at Not Like Other Girls. It's a subreddit.
Have I done this before?
I don't know, but it is the concept of like, oh, other girls are interested in this, but not me, I'm special.
So that used to be a really big thing. If I think about the music that we listened to growing up, this idea of like stupid girls, it's very that. It's this idea that you don't want to be like other girls.
Yeah.
And then Heidi Steinfeld, I don't know, I'm like doing education, feminism through music, came up with the song Some Girls, and it's like, some girls are smart and beautiful. And the idea is like, actually, I want to be like other girls. I'm pretty sure in that music video, like it starts with like a guy being like, oh, you're not like other girls, and she's like, bye.
Yes.
So it's funny how like society's taken the discourse.
This is the ingrained concept from other women typically, who are like, I'm special because I'm not like other girls. So that was what we're looking at today, and I thought it would be nice for me to get a girl's perspective.
So women not loving women.
A woman's perspective.
Let me be a woman.
No, you were singing. You've sung 3 different. You've sung like 4 different songs.
I told you, it's feminism through music today.
So we're kicking off with this. This is the first part of the first meme. Oh, this is me. I am interested in Fortnite and gaming.
Is she drinking lipstick?
I think she's kissing Shaba.
Oh.
I think he is like a mwah, 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 mwah.
Okay. What's in her mind?
Gaming.
Gaming is on the brain. What is that at the bottom? What's in her throat?
I don't know what the bottom one is. I think that's like a gamer girl thing, right?
What are you? I don't know what that bottom thing is. Like, I mean, I want a cloud that I can swing on.
Yeah.
Not particularly in my boob, but sure.
Okay.
So sorry, this idea is like these people are not like other girls because they like gaming.
Yeah. Wait, this particular one is like, me, I'm into gaming, whereas other girls are into high heels and engagement rings and bikinis and lipstick and makeup and money and having a boyfriend. It's like, I'm not into all that girly stuff. I'm a gamer girl. It's fine. Everybody's interested in different things. It's just this concept of feeling like you are better than people because you're like demeaning other people for their interests. And this is like specifically like
it's weird, right? Like, why do you have to like gaming by shitting on people who like bikinis?
And maybe the women who like high heels and bikinis also like gaming.
Get yourself a girl who can do both. Bisexual.
Not that kind of do both.
That's sad. I am understanding this forum and I don't like it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I feel like I bring you on my channel just to make you sad.
Can we never just do like, it's a cute cat to react to today?
I don't react to cats. We have done buy memes though. They're fun. The average girl's essentials versus my essentials.
I thought you said essentials.
Essential oils.
Essentials.
Wait for it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Have you waited?
Yeah. Wait. Shall we guess what we think is in here? The average girl essentials.
So
tampon.
Plasters.
Mobile phone. Lipstick.
Tweezers.
Right.
Yes.
Would be on the other girls. I see you.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I don't get it. What is the can you help? One is just like white themed and one is a bit more colourful. I don't know the difference. They just look like different types of products to me.
Oh wait, this is the average girls and this is theirs.
Yeah.
Right, maybe it's because the first one's like really full.
I don't know.
And the second one's like, I just need
20
green
products.
goo and a brush and
Shaba, where's the brush?
Here, is this not? Oh, it's not brush. It's not brush. See, I'm not like most girls. I don't know.
I'm not like most girls either.
This is like an eyeliner or something? Lash lifting mascara.
Thank you for your, I was going to say disintegration. What do I mean? Thank you for looking. I don't understand this one.
I think this one's
what
saying
is
there's
it like?
Less stuff and this one
I'm better than you because my bag is empty.
I'm better than you because I don't have deodorant. Says the second person. I don't know.
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Prepare my family and home for an uncertain future. Raise animals who provide me with food. I'm sure that bun is mighty impressive.
It is.
Cook from scratch to nourish my family. Preserve food for a food storage. Also, she's doing that whilst making spaghetti from an apple.
She's peeling it.
It's weird. It peels. Like, just use a knife. Just eat the skin. I'm so confused. Do other girls not eat apple skin?
No.
These things bring you freedom. Taylor Swift won't. What? Sorry. I'm so not an other girl.
Wait.
When it's like, these things bring you freedom, I was like, hard-boiled eggs? Like, what?
Hold on. Is she saying I'm not like other girls because instead of being into Swiftie, I'm into
eggs. I don't know. This is weird. There's a whole page of the internet dedicated to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you like it?
Internet's weird. Okay, it's these things. It's not the eggs. It's
So these things will set...
I like making pie. I'm making apple spaghetti and raising animals that give me eggs that I put in a jar.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy that brings you freedom, babe. Taylor Swift won't to you. Legit though, like Mama Shaba hat on, musicians and the words of others being able to express emotions. What are you doing?
Mama Shaba hat.
Oh, thank you. Legit has like taken people out of depression.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
amazing,
smiling, but I
like
agree,
the power that
Thank you, seriously.
that people like Taylor Swift can do. So you know, like just stop
Let
putting
other people
down, babe.
be. I respect your interests to cook from scratch and have animals.
Make your apple spaghetti. Have your tiny bags. The lady before had tiny bags.
Be interested in your gaming,
Play Fortnite, babe.
but
like,
don't use it as a way to say you're better than others.
Why do you need to do that? I think that's like
Insecurity.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's people being like, oh, I think you're going to judge me, so I'm going to judge you first.
Yeah. Women wear baggy. This feels very Gen Z. Where are you going?
I'm showing off how similar my clothing is right now. It's like the idea of like a little crop top under.
True, but you are wearing joggers with lifted up, cuffed. Yes, cuffed. These are like baggy cargo-ish pants.
I love them. They're lesbian trousers.
Okay.
That's what Rolly taught me.
So women wear these trousers. Girls, bleh, wear skinny jeans with rips in.
Bleh. I mean, to be fair, I agree with this. Just because, no. Just like jeans with the vomit face because they're so tight. Like, I personally don't wear them. But mostly because I then envy girls who do. I'm like, wow, good for you for the endurance of being able to do that.
Yeah.
Not because I'm like, I'm a woman. So weird.
Also, what is funny is it's more likely going to be young women who wear these types of trousers and older, like millennial and older, who wear these types of trousers. So it's more likely to be the other way around, age-wise, just saying.
But then these types of trousers are like, when I look at that, I'm like, oh, Avril Lavigne. I don't think so. It's like very like Nike's
no,
grunge.
it is also, it's grunge because it's had a revival.
I'm
but
pretty sure I had those exact trousers.
Between this trouser being in last time and it being in now, we had these skinny ripped jeans.
We did.
And you can't be wearing the skinny ripped jeans anymore, apparently. People judge you for it. But if you want to wear them, you wear them. This is like saying,
you are not a proper woman.
The amount of things that make you not a woman if you wear skinny jeans. Damn. And also, an emoji will vomit on your knee.
Through the ribs. How sad. POV. You made 200k last year from your college degrees instead of being a social media influencer. Wasn't this posted on social media?
Social media. But also, I've got news for you about how successful some social media people can be. And like, this is great for you, but don't disrespect other people's jobs just because you have college degrees that are being utilized in your job.
I mean, that you're saying that you're utilizing my degree. I have a PhD on social media.
You
so
do.
I use it every day.
And you utilize your law degree all the time.
And not just that, like the soft skills that comes from a degree in general, the ability to stick to deadlines, to communicate in a way that other people would understand, to consolidate information concisely, to skim read and process so much information in a quick space of time. You're telling me I don't use that? Research skills, analytics skills, critical thinking skills.
I use research skills constantly in my videos.
Like, who are you? I'm not even trying to shade you on the amount of money that you're making. Like, what?
Boomer. Honestly, I feel like people who are like,
I have a college degree, I'm not a social media influencer.
It's such a boomer attitude to have. And when I say like boomer attitude, I just mean really old-fashioned. To anybody we've seen kind of shit on what we do for work, they've always just been really stuck in the
go get a degree and get a proper job, go sit and be miserable in an office. If you're not miserable
in an office,
it's because they're sad and they're like,
I don't like the fact that you've skipped.
What they think is
around in front of a camera being happy and fun all the time and not actually have to work for money.
Number one, newsflash, job's a lot harder than that. Number two, so sad, too bad. If we have fun jobs that we enjoy and you don't diss other people that are having fun jobs, go get yourself a fun job. Guess what, babe? You too can be a social media influencer.
You are.
Give it a go. You are. Is that it? It was just that. Look at me, I have a pram and a Starbucks.
Yeah, and a purse.
I have no idea of how much creators make. But also, like, some creators could be making significantly less than this. Some creators could be making significantly more.
Yeah.
Same with you coming out of your college degree, babes. You could be working at Starbucks. Or you could be a Topshop, Magic Circle firm, CEO, corporate person. And what's that got to do? Why can't influencers be influencers and non-influencers be non-influencers? So weird.
Yeah.
It's just confusing to me.
What you girls want?
Nice eyebrows.
Makeup. What I want? Tattoos.
I want both.
I was going to say, literally, you are both.
I mean, I'm not like super makeup queen, but I do need to get my eyebrows redone very soon.
Your eyebrows are wonderful. I love them.
Thank you. You're right. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do tattoos, but I don't because I want to. What the fuck is wrong with you? Just let people be people. Ideas.
All right, Dory.
What your 2-year-old eats versus what mine eats.
Flower-shaped peanut butter banana bites.
Someone has
Mini
gone to the
vanilla
effort
wafers, smoothie melts.
of making bananas the shape of flowers.
It's very beige.
What happens
but
with all the
it's
little pointy bits
cute.
of banana?
I have to say, a toddler should not be eating ribs. Not like whole like that, right?
Or the macaroni and are those collard greens?
Maybe.
Am I American now?
No.
Did I get that right?
I don't know, but you're not American, okay?
I wanted to like be part of something.
But like, also, I don't think either plate looks particularly like healthy, although there are like bananas and then there's some carbs. And the smoothie melts, I don't know what they're made of as long as they're not packed full of like sugar.
Is it smoothie but just frozen?
Maybe. I'd say that the left hand is way more appropriate for a toddler than the right hand side. And I don't know why it's a flex to be like, I feed my baby bones. Why?
You know what your baby's missing? Fat. Ugh. Can I just say though, I do want to try smoothie milk. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
Can I just say though, next time I have a banana, can you please cut it into little flowers?
Absolutely not. I am not the girl. I am an other girl. I still question, where do those little pointy bits
when
of
do
bananas
you
go?
make me ribs?
Where do the pointy bits of banana go?
The parent eats them. That's what parents are for.
That's right. Then. Or you put them together.
They become the poubelle for their infants.
No, you put them together in a little bowl and then you do some caramel and some crushed biscuits and some whipped cream and then every morning the parent gets to eat a little banoffee pie.
That is what you would do. You're very cute.
That'd be so cool.
I love you.
I love you too.
POV, you're not like the limo prom girlies. You go in what looks like
a cattle truck.
A cattle truck.
Sorry, you want to be treated special at prom? No.
The slaughterhouse.
Like, what?
Here's your grass.
Imagine flexing over this. Imagine feeling like you're better than people because you ride where cows shit. Like, it's just for a second. Like, imagine using that as any kind of comparison and tell me that these people are okay.
Yeah. What's wrong with limo prom girlies and limo prom anybody's?
Is it not for cow? Is it definitely cattle?
I don't know if it's definitely cattle, but it absolutely looks like it's for animals.
Yeah, it does.
And like that is not something to flex about.
But flex. Be happy. I think it's really cool. I've never seen someone do that before. If you want to do that, if your dad is like a dairy farmer and is like, gonna take you in the big truck, like, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
Why do you need to shit on someone else's limo?
Yeah.
I had a friend who went on an ice cream fan. I thought that was really cool.
I walked.
You did. I knew some boys as well who arrived on space hoppers. I thought that was really cool.
That is very cool.
They were just like boing, boing.
I'd be so tired. I would like hop 3 times and be like, I'm done.
They did live very close to school.
Ah, okay. I bet you they walked until they were in view and then they're like, right, I'm the space hoppers, boys.
What would you go in to prom now if you had the chance and like all the money in the world?
Those scooters that are electric. Whee! I'd hire one. Whee!
You would electric scooter. Good vibe.
A Vespa.
I love the idea of an ice cream van. It'd be cool if it was a functioning ice cream van and on the way, like,
you wouldn't go to prom.
You could be like,
you would just be chilling there eating your 99p flake.
no, it'd be like giving everyone banana popsicles.
In the shape of a flower.
Sure.
So you'll give the parents flower-shaped banana popsicles, but you will not make a flower-shaped banana for your husband?
I will buy flower-shaped banana popsicles if they are such a thing. Now I just want ice cream.
Okay, moving on.
How many ladies can honestly say this? I still have my real nails, real eyebrows, real eyelashes. I think every lady who can read can say it, to be fair, babe. I don't know what to do, Mommy. I'll wait. Sorry, what is it? Real nails. I haven't even coloured them. It's right here. That's how sucky I am. Real eyebrows.
I mean, most of them are real.
No, but you're right. I do fill them in. And real eyelashes. Yeah, this is true.
They're real.
Wow, but I failed. I'm not a girl. I'm not a lady.
All of those things are real for me, but I'm not a lady. So sorry, I don't pass the vibe check. This is such a pick-me thing to say. Why does it matter? And why is this on a vegan vegetarian recipe page?
It's because they have no friends. They're so bitter about their life. Everyone's turned away and they're like, where do I go? Who will respect me? Vegan burritos. It's just sad.
It's also, it's the way they've done this in the pretty text, so it's really bold rather than just a status.
It's very sad.
It had to be big.
I like how 86 people have liked or hearted it though. There's 86 people who haven't got round to painting their nails or doing their eyebrows.
Nobody's laughed at it. That's sad. They've just done an angry face. This is definitely the vibe of
I'm better because all of these things.
That's the vibe it gives off, and it's like, can we stop comparing? You're not better because you haven't had anything done, and other people aren't better because they have. But it's hard being a solid female in this kind of world.
Compared to what? A liquid female? Or a gas female? Like, what am I? I'm so confused.
You know what it made me think of? Just like Shrek. When it's like, yeah, oh, finally did a solid shit.
Oh my god, Fiona as an ogre. Is that the vibe? Is that what they mean? I'm so confused.
Yeah, nobody wants their females like diarrhea. Gotta be solid.
I'll take a constipated female any day. No, seriously, what does that mean?
Oh, I don't know.
If you have any idea.
The thing that you will learn about the videos I make is often there is no sense to be made out of them.
Okay, then what am I? Solid, liquid, or gas female?
Gas. I didn't even need to say. I didn't even. The amount of gas that comes out of you, you must be gas.
Oh, I was thinking like helium gas.
I was thinking thoughts.
I was like, light fluffy cloud shower. And you're like, oh. Get yourself a girl, look at you both.
You can do both. You are the cloud of my life.
Okay, gorgeous sponge.
Sending new location to your offset now.
Gorgeous buds down below. Comment and let us know.
Do you think Shaba's gassy?
Am I gas, liquid, and solid? And what is Jamie? Is he gas, liquid,
I'm
and
a
solid?
lady.
And what are you? No, gender
Am
aside.
I a solid boy?
I think you are liquid. I know. I look at you and I think liquid.
Oh, and because I'm scared all the time. I'm like, blah. I'm that little cup in Jurassic Park.
You're an elemental.
Oh.
You're the water guy.
Then you are gas. Because
she's
fire
fine. She's
needs
like,
gas.
Okay. This is a weird video. I'm sorry.
Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, educated, independent, respectful, good cook, pretty, one-man woman, one man women.
One man women. One man women. One meadow. Yes, we do exist.
Good for you.
Wow.
I don't get it.
I don't understand how someone can both say respectful
Yes.
and shit on like an entire subgroup of the human race at the same time. It's very odd to me.
Well, clearly, and they're not living up to the yes, we do exist. Well, clearly not, Bethany.
You're trying to say that you don't.
Yeah. You don't. And also, what is a one-man women?
One man women.
Don't sing again.
I have no idea. No, you know what one man women is.
What?
You know what she means by one man women?
Oh, she's talking about like when people used to marry multiple women.
Jamie, she's just saying
one man,
she only wants one
women.
man.
I know, I'm just really going hard in on the joke that she used the plural of woman.
Yeah, she's educated. Okay. All my life, I laughed at not very smart women.
It's not dramatic enough.
All my life, I laughed at not very smart women. But after getting married, I realised how lucky they are. They don't see anything. No cheating from their men. No deception. And how much easier it is for them. The husband didn't spend the night at home, and in the morning Jamie, in the morning, he came with a bouquet. He's so romantic. I love him. His story about riding the subway and the new purse as a gift smooths everything over. Unknown nerves. But it just doesn't work out that way for women.
Zone under assault.
Women.
Actually, you made it.
For women with brains, I'm
That's not
clearly
you.
not one of them. I envy them. I envy.
You know, you're actually tearing up. You have wet eyes.
I'm gas, not liquid.
So basically saying,
Yeah, I put so much in the performance, I didn't actually understand what I was
she's
doing.
saying,
I'm so clever. I cannot live a peaceful life. These dumb women, they don't notice anything. I envy them.
I'm so confused. It's almost she's shitting on women who are not as clever as her, whilst also like bolstering herself up as being some Einstein.
She's just saying that women are dumb because all men cheat, but they can't tell, so they think they're in happy marriages.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So isn't this really just shitting on men?
Both. But it's also saying
If you don't notice that your man is cheating on you, you're an idiot.
like actually some people can be very sneaky. It's time to embrace being an iced tea girl. What? Liquid.
Take me.
Is this you?
No, I'm gas!
Oh, iced tea is flirty and feminine. It is cheaper and more hydrating than a latte. Iced tea is for girls with leg stubble.
I don't have any.
Oh no, where is it? Where's it
I
gone?
just shaved yesterday.
No, it's so
I don't know what
sad.
possessed me. I haven't shaved in like many months, but I was just like, do you know what it was? I was really enjoying my shower. So I was like, how do I prolong this?
Leg stubble and a chair covered with not clean, not dirty clothes.
ADHD. That's what we're talking about. Iced tea is for girls with ADHD.
For women, not in STEM.
For women who don't know what this is trying to say. I'm so confused. So they're saying that iced tea is good. They're shitting on lattes now.
Yes.
Or is it still...
You need to be a woman into iced tea, not coffee, because
not STEM.
You're hashtag not like other girls if you like iced tea, and that apparently makes you better than everybody else.
I'm trying to say that iced tea is for girls, right? So they're saying iced tea is better than lattes, right? And then they're saying iced tea is for girls with leg stubble and chairs covered with not clean, not dirty clothes.
Yes.
So like you get to have the premiere, which is iced tea, if you got leg stubble and if you have a chair drobe.
I don't think it's saying iced tea is for those girls. It's saying like the type of girls who have iced tea are the ones with leg stubble and a chair wardrobe.
Right, but it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But then they're saying for women not in STEM. So they're saying that if you are in STEM, you're not an iced tea girly.
No.
They're excluding women in STEM.
Because you're not flirty and feminine if you're in STEM. Very unsexy, the STEM.
But leg stubble is sexy.
Always.
Like the kind of people that say this
Chair drobes, they're
don't,
not.
you know, like they're not like the liberal woke people
No,
who are into leg
this
stubble.
is a really weird
What is this
post.
breed of person? I'm so confused with what, like, Karen in the wild. I throw my Pokeball. I get it. I know what I'm capturing with a Karen. I don't understand what these other girls do. Solid girls. I don't understand.
The gas girlies
I
out
do
there.
like a good peach iced tea.
Oh, she is one. Other girls get their nails done. Me, I play in the dirt.
Me, I broke a cactus.
That looks
That's what's
very
happening right
irresponsible.
now.
I like to get my hands covered in shit and bleeding. Ba-dong,
Because that's the sound you make if you broke the cactus.
ba-dong. You know, if I actually had a cactus, I would hurt myself on it frequently. I
true.
have a confession.
What?
You know that really evil cactus that your mum gave us?
And I told you to leave it on the shelf that I deliberately put so high up
Yeah.
so that you didn't touch it. Yeah, I know the one.
When we moved it, I pricked my finger on it.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Jamie is the most accident-prone person.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever come across. No, your mum. She
Yeah.
I see where it
Why
comes
did
from.
he call that? My mum, when we used to joke, my mum can trip over a chalk line. She literally does.
A what?
Chalk line. Because there's nothing to trip over. She came home from work one day and she'd like taken the knees out of her trousers and she was crying. Bless her, I love my mum. And then she was just like, I love these trousers. And they were ruined. Bless. So I've grown up like that. I literally cut my finger the other day on a curtain pole.
How's that called? exhausted.
That's the reaction. Like, I don't get sympathy. I literally get a, again, really.
Jamie cut himself being angry on this, like, I had like baking beads in a jar and he broke the jar on the floor. I was like, how did that happen? I was so confused.
It was weighing something down and I kicked it.
Oh, it was literally on the floor. I was like, how did you smash it when it was already there? And then baking beads for everyone. I was like, Jamie, just step aside. Let me start. He was like, no, I'll do it. And then he cut himself again, breaking the beads up. And I was like, just leave it.
There was like a pile where there was glass.
Don't try and justify it.
And no. And I literally was like, I'm going to stay away from that. And then what I did is I made my hand glide over the top of the spiky broken jar. And I caught and I cut my finger like all the way down there.
It was a nasty
And it was
cut.
nasty. Like we debated whether I needed stitches, but in the end I just like kept it straight. I'm not swearing at you. And like I bandaged it up and I have a scar actually.
It's not like Aberdeen's.
I'm not.
He's Humpty Dumpty.
I'm a man. Everyone's at Coachella this weekend, but I'm grateful to be going to church.
Do you know what? I've got it. I've understood. These people think their lives are amazing because they're so sad, but this is all they have for them. Let them believe that their church days are better than Coachella. Just, you live in that bubble, babe. You live your best church life fantasy.
I don't disrespect people who want to go to church, but mate, do not try and tell me that church is better than
You sing
other
your
things.
hymns to that organ. Girl, you go for it. I'm happy for you. I found peace with this forum. No, now.
Well done. You found your